Hello and welcome back to
Oh,
Goons
God, no,
Unchained.
no.
Goons Unchained? What?
Top of the morning, everybody. My name is Jackson.
Alright, that's a copyright strike. Anyway,
Maybe there's a
You
reason
can't
I
put
hate
that in the
all of
video.
you.
That's copyright strike.
that's the
You
hilarious
ruined
part.
the recording. Congratulations.
Anywho,
Start it over.
We'll remove it in post.
Okay, okay, let's be real. Is there really anything you could do to ruin the recording more than already will be?
listen,
Yes.
She makes a good
if
point.
you take
I have a good way to fix it, bro. Remove Kevin.
if you take 3 minutes out of your day and you just listen to snippets from the other one, you're gonna see like I'm not gonna get this channel monetized at all. Anyway,
Bro, you didn't tell us you were fucking
Are
recording.
you trying to tell us we're not?
That is true though.
Friend?
If it was known that there was gonna be recording going on, there
oh,
might have been less troll.
The memes would have been higher tier.
congratulations.
Names would've
Okay,
been better.
in the state of Texas, you only need
Oh
one
my
party
God, is
consent.
this whole thing just?
Did you just dox
plot.
me live? Did you just dox me?
Yeah,
Is
dude.
this just a plot by Darian to get us to like?
You live in
put more
Texas?
effort
It's
into
kind of
this?
weird, bro.
This is exactly what this is. This guy's trying to game us.
Playing games.
For legal purposes, that was a joke.
We solved your ARG.
Okay.
We solved your ARG.
Okay.
bro.
So, does anyone want to recap last session for a point of inspiration?
I killed
Sure.
David.
I'll do
Alright.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He killed him.
Okay.
Got him.
Well,
Yeah.
Hold on.
Uh,
Logan's going down to like.
We found
six.
some
No, too low.
kids. We
Okay.
I got
Wrong,
caught in a bear trap.
actually. I love how we're going backwards. We're literally
Yeah, wait, you
cited
gotta
the
start.
you cited the last thing that happened. You cited the thing before the. You're literally just going backwards.
Then earlier we killed some monsters.
uh-huh.
Th- Thank
And
you,
then,
Michael.
Then we first
Last-
enter the sewers.
What did you call
That's
this,
pretty much it.
Darian?
What did I call what?
It was what was it? Goons? What? Goons what?
The adventure is Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
So goons.
No. Fuck the D&D, bro. What's the podcast's name?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
That can be changed at any point in time, but the moment we mention it in like a podcast, it has to.
Meta.
you know,
Can't-
he makes an
can't make it meta.
excellent point.
You can't make it meta. You're right. So last time on the adventures of the Tiger Strikers,
I can't.
our
See,
our
you know
gang
what
of
the worst part
goons-
is? I let you just like say that just because like I didn't care that much. But now that it's like codified, like set in stone, like
You don't
I
like being
find
the
myself
Tiger
angry
Striker?
at my past self that I didn't care enough.
There you go. That's what you get.
Tigers.
We have to
Bro,
live
you
with the.
should have mentioned the name,
What's wrong with Tiger Strikers?
bro. Tiger
We
Strikers
haven't
is pretty fucked.
Struck a single tiger yet, bro.
Is that our goal?
You know, it might as well be.
End goal. Punch a tiger. It's good.
And the
Alright,
Marines
alright.
don't swim, bro.
See, but you say that, and then we're gonna end up fighting like a Rakshasa. What the fuck it's called?
Come on.
Okay, recap,
no,
recap,
okay,
recap.
yeah. Stop.
Stop being genre savvy. Does anyone want to give me a legitimate recap?
I
Are
will
you
give.
saying Logan's backwards ass one wasn't one?
Oh no, that definitely
No, it
didn't
wasn't.
count. Oh,
What if we
I-
just
I
play the
will
audio
give-
in reverse?
Come on.
Bro. Okay, then you won't understand it. Okay, here's what happened. Last time around, we came out of prison with a deal to find a bitchy wizard, her stone.
That's not.
The
Yeah.
stone of Golor. So she sent us off into the city, said we could only kill people in the dark, and
Did she say that?
or
That is? I
yeah,
don't
she
remember
said
that.
as well. Think of it this way. There's no light in the dark, but there's light in the streets. And she said no bloodshed in the streets. So if it's dark where we are, we can kill them. But anyways, that's
You
a
just
side
dropped me
thing.
a couple IQ points there, bud.
And we were shopping for some bolts and dry bread, and we found blood in a back alley entryway for some kitchen or some house. And following the blood,
Ooh,
we
yeah,
got to
fucking
the
grip it and
sewers.
rip it, baby. Fucking that fucking fucking can, bro.
It's 5 p.m. somewhere for that beer that you just opened up, but we made it to the sewers and we found a fucking. Or on our way to the sewers, we got rammed by some kids, and we just completely forgot that they existed. And so we just kept on going to the sewers. And once we got there, we freed open some doors, fought some fucking brains with legs that did 38 necrotic damage in one hit, and or 36 necrotic damage in one hit. And then we killed a couple zombie beholders. We barely killed them. We also killed a human fighter that was on their side, which is why he was killed. Um, uh, Otherwise, why would he been standing up there in spell range? Am I right, boys? And then on our way out the sewer, the kids exacted revenge for their human fighter friend and trapped Michael in a bear trap. And to to reward them, we gave them 5 gold
What?
and a piece of dry bread. And then they said, "Meet us in the morning, right here." And we said, "Okay, we'll meet you right there." And now it's nighttime. We're bartering with a hot redhead, your soul for a whip, and we're waking up. It is the year 1067 in Faerun, and our gang of lowly adventurers have another surprise. A surprise that'll be put down in the history books.
Oh, oh.
Wow, the more you talk, the more I realize that shit was actually unlistenable.
Bro, that was
Just
pretty
like
good.
the
I don't
whole
know what the fuck
previous
you're talking about.
episode.
No, that was
no,
that was a good
I'm
recap.
sorry.
The recap was good. It was like maybe 2 amendments I could make, but it was good. It was good. So I'll grant you 1 inspiration die. So
Dog.
Also, the real question is, where did city street rats get a functioning ass bear trap?
That's very true. That last time I
you
thought
should.
that too.
Hey, guess what?
I didn't want to.
Ask them about it.
God,
I'm scared, dude.
I was thinking of that. I was thinking of that last time, and I was like, I don't want to get smitten by the gods listening, so I'll just I'll keep it on the low.
Okay. So with that recap, go ahead and take your inspiration die. So any reroll, you got it. 1 time.
Okay.
Are we doing inspiration like the lame way where you get advantage, or the cool way for the cool kids where you just re-roll the die?
That's what he just said. He just said
That's what he
reroll.
just said.
Whenever,
Oh shit. That's
Yeah.
what I have listening skills. So I learned them in the 3rd grade.
You had them.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay, good job. Good job.
They will be missed.
All right. So waking up in Robin's Roost, each of you to your individual rooms. It is morning. There's still a little sleepiness in the city as the morning sun comes streaking across the horizon. There is food provided for you since you guys paid last night. Anything you guys want to do or discuss in character downstairs during breakfast?
Right before breakfast, I do my morning stretches.
Your morning calisthenics.
Yes.
And what does that entail?
About a munch.
I'm just stretching. I'm not trying to pull something.
He just really cozies up against someone in the bar and just kind of really stretches.
Do you do the stretch where like you lean on someone's shoulder and then like you spread your legs apart so you drop down?
Yeah. And you kind of just grunt while you're doing it. Just
I ask
constantly.
Red to push my back down as I spread my legs and sit on the floor. Help me with my stretches.
Do you?
Red, does not.
Oh.
Red does not. Alright.
Alright.
And now I eat breakfast.
Okay. And just for clarification, because your character would know, the kids told you to meet them in the dock ward near their secret hideout. So,
Okay.
What did we ask the children to look for again?
The
Some-
people with
some
acne.
dude, right? Huh?
Yeah, the people with acne.
no, not people with acne. People wearing masks. that left the
Oh.
sewers before you.
With acne.
It's in my notes.
You put it down as acne. Wonderful.
God.
That's canon now. That's how this works, right? This is a collaborative storytelling effort.
Oh, we're
That's
not going.
canon.
We're not going there.
Come on, guys. We just started. He's
Tiger
already
strikers. Scarf down that breakfast. We've got places to be. Children be waiting.
Does anyone have a
See,
passive
when you say it
perception
like that,
over 14?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I
What
have-
perception?
of 14.
Meets beats passive perception of 14.
I'm at 17.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm
1,
at
2,
14.
3. Red, Trevor, passive perceptions.
I do not have it. I'm at 11.
10.
Okay. All right. So
And
sure. Longpeen, Martin, and Michael, you're gonna hear a couple of the city watchmen come inside and discuss very quietly with some of their friends in the artisan guild, some of them in the hospitality guild, that the collapse of an interior windmill, or a mill, and the subsequent breaking and entering of a nearby sewer has shut down the southern part of the ward, pending further investigation.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
How does a windmill in the middle of a city work?
uh-oh.
I think
The same way a regular windmill does.
Yeah, but there's buildings and shit.
I'm just
I
gonna
guess you just
Yeah,
make
exactly.
it tall as fuck.
The wind blows up against the walls and it goes upwards, like when it hits the walls. So it'll just go up to the windmill in the center.
So everyone's in agreement that it wasn't us, right?
What wasn't us?
What was enough?
Exactly. Moving on.
in reality it was a millery, but my head just goes automatically to windmill.
Oh,
Isn't that
like,
what
you know,
windmills-
hook up
Oh,
some
wait,
oxen
wait.
to a big pole
Wait,
and
wait.
spin it around.
Yeah,
Canon now.
Aren't
a post
no,
mill.
Isn't that what windmills are for?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Okay.
but if you don't have the wind part, it's just a regular mill. Then.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just say windmill out of habit. But yes, the mill
Yes. Yeah, I got you.
has collapsed. One
This
of
is
them.
good listening.
We're going to those kids, right?
I mean, you could say it not like that though.
Are
We
going
will
to
find
meet
our
those
children.
Street rat hoodlum children.
Yeah, that's better. Gotta put them in their place.
Yeah, we need to. We've already paid them, so now we must go claim their services.
All right.
Can't help that feeling.
Don't say that while the guards are inside, please.
The closer the guards are is not a good idea for you. All right, you move.
We move.
All right. After a good hearty breakfast, you set out from the Robin's Roost, and you go towards the dock ward. For some reason, today has a different atmosphere. Though the wind is steady, it's a little warmer than it was yesterday, and it seems to have invigorated those around. But the whipping winds make it a little difficult to hear things. Once or twice, you barely recognize the sound of a coachman careening down the street. Mechanically, this comes down to a disadvantage on perception checks that rely on hearing, just a heads up. But with this new fervor, a shipment has come into Waterdeep. The Autumn Festival that would have been happening was postponed until further notice, but the supplies and the journeymen and the craftsmen who performed and sold their skills and wares at this festival have been accepted into Waterdeep on the provision that they stay quarantined within the dock ward. So with this new flurry of activity, there is this new liveliness. Who is going to be in the lead searching for the kids' hideout?
I'll do it. Put me in.
Yeah,
chief.
perception boy.
Perception.
Percept.
Give me
Speed
an...
walk in front of Pinlong. In front of Michael. Fuck.
Okay, Michael, I'll need an investigation check.
All right, chief, you got it.
Well, what are we investigating?
Natural
Shit.
20.
Pog.
Pog?
All right. So 24. All right. So with this new flurry of activity, new liveliness, navigating the streets is not difficult, but it is hassle, or it is bothersome. There's a hassle every now and then. The jostling of carts, new mules on the road, cobbles clicking beneath your feet. But you do find the kids' hideout. Kids.
Kids.
Kids' hideout. It's tucked away into an abandoned storefront where derelict boxes have been stacked on the left and right to form a makeshift palisade complete with child-sized merlons, and above it you see a sign painted in. Does anyone speak Infernal?
Actually, I do not. Just kidding.
Okay. It says something in Infernal, and you imagine that it's as terrifying. It's terrifying to a kid, so
I
it's.
can recognize the letters, let's say, as I speak Abyssal.
I don't believe the script is the same.
I think the script is the same. It's either that or it's that other one.
Okay. But yes, you're seeing that, and you're seeing right now it would be Squidly's turn for a watch, and you see Squidly kind of fast asleep on, with his arms crossed, looking out from his palisade. What do you do?
I flick Squidly straight in the forehead.
Ah! Ow! Ah!
I was gonna do something way better than that, Lane. Flicking him on the forehead.
You're.
Wake up, child.
I was gonna do the Vsauce Michael. What if you were complete?
You're the homeless guy from yesterday. Uh
I have a home.
huh.
The question is,
And I'm a prince of
where are
hell.
the men with acne?
The men with what? He's a little
Where's your sister,
disoriented.
child?
I don't
Where's
have
the
a
smart
sister.
one? Bring out the smart one.
Nat, wake up! And you see him like get off of his chair, and he turns into the storefront, and you hear him like disappear around the back. You hear like grumbling, rumbling, and then Squidly, Jinx, and Nat come to the front. Jinx seems to be Nat's translator for the most part. That's why he accompanies her. And she's gonna sign, and Jinx is going to translate. Oh, good morning.
Good morning, child. Where are the men with the ugly faces?
She's ugly faces, and she's gonna masks is what she's going to motion.
Ignore
Why
it.
would they wear masks if they weren't ugly?
He makes an excellent point.
And then she's gonna point at you. Why aren't you wearing a mask?
Because I'm a warrior.
And she
My
shrugs.
beauty isn't in my face, it's in my movements. Where are the men who are ugly?
She's gonna point to the theater, and then Jinx is gonna translate the rest. They went to the theater. They went and talked to the manager. They disappeared behind the stage, and they did not return.
Peen Long rubs his bald chin with a furrowed brow. Theatrics.
Oh, can you
I
take us
exclaim.
over there?
And she's gonna shrug. Can't get in.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
And then
Right,
she's
Tiger
gonna
Striker.
she's gonna hold up her hand and make the motion for money again.
Ah, yes. How could I have forgot? I
This kid is
reach,
stingy.
dead ass. I reach into my sash, and I take out a piece of dry bread and 3 silvers.
She
And I
take
hand it to her.
she takes it happily, hops over the barricade to their fort, and she gestures for Jinx and Squidly to come along. Squidly runs back into the storefront to grab his wooden sword, and you see Jinx reach down and pick something up and blow some dust off of it. It looks to be just a normal stick.
Nice rod, kid. Let's go.
I don't think you should say that in public.
We're not in public. We're in these children's humble abode.
Okay.
It's even worse.
Nice rod.
Um,
Not too thin.
No, thank you. All right,
Alright.
children, lead the way.
okay. You guys are going to the theater at the docks, which has a name that I will find really quickly.
Good.
Pog?
Good.
Give that.
10 out of 10.
Acne Theater.
Sure. Acne theater.
Acne Theater. I will give you a fat no for that one, sir.
Can I use my inspiration die to invoke the name of the theater being Acne Theater?
You can do whatever you want. You just have to be. You just have to be willing to face the consequences.
I'll hold on to it.
All right. Okay. Da-da-da-da. All right. The name of the theater is called the Pink Flumph.
Acne Theater was a bit better.
Oh.
Pink Flumph.
Yes, Flumph, like the creature of the Underdark, Flumph, except it's pink. The kids are gonna maintain like a 10-foot distance between whoever your lead is, and they kind of fan out amongst the crowd. You have a feeling they're not trying to get away from you, but they are trying to distance themselves from a group such as yourselves, who looks like they obviously don't belong in a dockyard. Would anyone like to run a history check on the Pink Flumph? Yeah.
I think I would.
I have a +4. I'll go for
I'll
it.
do it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm doing it. I had a lat 23.
Oh, you're both had.
No,
Goddamn,
you had a
Michael's
nat
high
19.
rolling. Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
A nat 23.
Yeah, no, I didn't
So
say
a lot
that.
of sides on that. Yeah.
Did I? I said
Yeah,
23.
you said nat 23, bro.
Yeah.
I swear I did.
Dice got a little bit more than 20 sides, huh?
All right, so
Definitely did not.
with a 19, you would know that the Pink Flump caters to its location. For sailors and merchants, it's kind of like a home away from home. On more rancorous nights, alcohol is served and splashed about. The theater, older than a lot of the buildings in the area, stands because of its reputation as a house of entertainment without being a house of pleasure or debauchery. It's a good middle ground between those who wish to be highly entertained and those who wish to be entertained only by the company of few.
Okay.
On most days, it is closed. It may have matinees every Wednesday and Friday, but on the current day, it is unoperated. The people who are residing within the building now are possibly the skeleton crew, with few exception. Their most famous play is The Kiss of the Lamia, which sounds disgusting if you know what lamias are. And there's also The Mermaid's Folly, a romantic comedy about a mermaid who falls in love with a pirate captain and tries to turn him into a mermaid, and instead he turns into a shark man. And you know, it has a long-running history, and it's faced a lot of criticism for its blatant racist tones. And you know, people have just said, you know, it was written 140 years ago, we should modernize it. And other people are like, no, it's a classic. So you know, the theater is in the middle of dealing with the guilds of Waterdeep, as they tend to hire a lot of freelance, whereas the jugglers and entertainers guild of Waterdeep are none too pleased with that.
Alright. You said that it's closed today, right?
Yep.
Are there like people around it, like guards or anything? Or is
No.
it literally just
You walk up to the door, and there is one of those flip signs that says "open," "closed." It's set to closed.
Alright, I'm gonna walk
I
up to the
turned
fan.
it to open.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you turn it to open, and you try to open the door. It's locked, obviously.
Alright,
Why is the
guys.
door locked if they're open?
Alright, gang, let's loop around the back.
It's the worst establishment I've ever been to.
Someone carried it up. Get us inside.
I knock on the door very heavily.
Oh my god.
Bang, 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 bang. No answer.
That is just another police.
I'm looping around the back.
Okay.
Back as well.
We tried.
Disappointedly, I follow, hoping that they would have opened the door.
Okay, you guys loop around the back. There is the side entrance and the service entrance. So the side entrance is basically a way to get onto the side stage or backstage. That door, too, is locked, but there is a string you could pull. You see on the door, it is a reinforced wooden door. There is like a little slat that someone could possibly pull open. That's the side entrance, and then the service door is more towards the back, and that is a wide, almost barn-like door, double hinged, double tall, double wide. That's used to pull in props to the stage or bring in whatever utensils they need.
Can I check to see if this string is a trap?
Okay, give me an investigation check.
13.
It's not a trap. It's just a bell that you ring to let people know that you're there and that they should probably open up the door.
Whoa, the
What's the
string is
string,
trapped. It
Michael?
makes a noise when you pull it.
I didn't listen to the
It's an alarm,
description
it's
very
an alarm,
well.
bro.
It's basically
Michael, what's the string for?
I don't know.
I pull on the string.
I did this. Know that I did this.
You hear a soft ring ring.
Progressive.
Um,
Bro, we're gonna get copyright struck.
The fuck copyright?
You're gonna get us demonetized, dude.
keep it on the
We've already
table.
been paid. What do you mean?
That's true.
Keep it on the
I
table. You ring it, and Michael, because he has a perception higher than the DC, is going to be the one that hears soft footfalls on the other side of the door, almost imperceptible, and then quiet.
In like a regal impersonation voice, I'm gonna say hello. Hello. I'm here for the inspection.
Why are you talking like that, Michael?
I'm gonna ignore Ping Long.
I'm gonna punch Ping Long in the shoulder.
The slat opens, and you see the dark skin of a human and narrow, light brown eyes kind of peering out at you. I am sorry, we are closed.
Why else do you think I am here? You think I would do this when you were open?
I do not know. What are you doing?
Are you an imbecile? Why
Ah,
else would I be here if you were? Why would I come here if you were open? To do an
who
inspection?
who are you?
I am Michelle.
Michelle.
Michael, tell him we're looking for the manager.
We're here to make sure your
Can I
quarantine
Can
is.
I speak to your manager? This is taking way too long.
You. Oh, I suppose you
we're
want
here
to
make
talk
sure your
to.
quarantine measures are up to snuff.
You want to talk to Ronquan.
I'm on a schedule here. I have to be in the next theater in about 30 minutes.
The theater is closed for private venue. We're still preparing. But if you want to talk to Ronquan, I can get him here.
Get him over here. Sooner I clear this up, the better.
You are Michelle from the guild, yes?
Yes.
I will grab him.
Shall and sell.
The slat closes, and you hear running.
Okay.
All right, boys.
They're in a rush.
Hey, Long King.
Yes, Trevor.
Can someone tie him up?
The door's trapped.
Door strap.
Door stuck.
Stop.
We're stuck.
The door's trapped.
Martin's gonna run around to the front.
All right, Martin, you run around to the front.
Martin's in a rush.
There's nothing happening at the moment.
Good.
The front door is fine. The curtains that are drawn to either side of the doorway look untouched. About
Is this an outdoor theater?
no.
Oh.
Long King.
About 5 minutes later, though, those of you at the side entrance can hear someone approaching. The loud footfalls of thick-soled boots. Clack,
Okay.
clack.
I'm
The
gonna
door-
stand there with my arms crossed. I'm looking impatient.
The door gets thrown open, dramatically open, and a man in what looks to be a pompous pirate's outfit, complete with a fake twirled mustache, is standing with his hand on what you can safely assume to be a plastic rapier at his hip. What do you want? I am getting ready for my performance tonight. I am Raquan.
Rocky?
I'm here for the routine inspection. I am Michelle from the guild.
We have already paid our guild dues. If you want to do an inspection, come on the inspection days. Show me your rate.
Alright, I'm gonna pull out my notepad, and I'm gonna forge like a cheap little.
Right in front of him.
Right in front of his ass.
Make a deception check at disadvantage.
How do I do this? Is it 2D?
Just roll it twice.
There's a way to do it, but
I don't know how to do it. I'm just gonna roll twice.
Just roll it twice.
I know the secret.
Hold on. What do I get plus? Oh, wait, hell a bonus.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
15?
you are charlatans. But you won't be a half-bad actor, Michel. But really, what are you here for?
I'm here to speak to your manager, Rocky.
I am not Rocky. Who's this Rocky you speak of? It is only me right now. I am the main stage actor, and I am part owner. But if you wish to speak to the manager, you must come later tonight. If you want someone to speak to, you can speak to me.
I'm here on behalf of the guild to do an inspection because host an event here.
He knows you're.
Does Red say anything?
Is he in the doorway or is he like stepped out in front?
He stepped out in front of the doorway.
Could just knock him out. The door is open.
I think.
What is your
like-
name, sir?
I am Raquan.
Oh.
So
Raquan.
Darian, I'm at the front door, right?
Yes, you are. You can hear this. This exchange is kind of loud.
I'm gonna cast knock on the front door.
Really now?
You're gonna cast.
Can you give me the spell description? Because I have an idea of what it does. I just need to know for sure.
Sure.
Knocks on the door.
I used my 3rd level spell slot to knock on the door.
Choose an object that you can see within range. The object can be a door, a box, a chest, a set of manacles, a padlock, or another object that contains mundane or magical means that prevents access. The target that is held shut by the mundane lock or is stuck or barred becomes unlocked or unstuck or unbarred.
We had
Oh.
that?
You had that this whole time. You insane.
All right. You hear a click, click, click as the security lock, the deadbolt, and the basic lock all unlatch, and the door is unlocked in the front.
Well, If the object has multiple locks, only one of them is unlocked. When you cast the spell, a loud knock, audible from as far as 300 feet away, emanates from the target object.
It gets all of them for the purpose. That was just flavor.
Okay.
Uh,
So there's a loud fucking sound from the front door.
yeah, everyone else who's at the side entrance hears bang.
I'm gonna
You have a
look
guest.
over. I'm gonna say,
I walk past Raquel into the theater.
What are you doing?
You have a guest at your
This
front
is
door.
trespassing.
Trespassing.
Get out. We're trying to do a rehearsal.
You have guests.
Oh,
at
he
your
turned
front
German.
door.
Yeah, he did.
He turned German really quickly. I don't know
voice acting skills
what are you doing?
but
Get
I am
out of
feeling
here.
Intimidating. Have a match with
Listen.
me.
Listen, Rocky. I'm looking for people with acne. Have you seen them?
People with acne, that is not good. I don't hire ugly actors.
Wait.
I'm also gonna cast invisibility on myself
Martin
King
turns
Long
invisible.
Rubs his chin.
and
Ugly.
stroll on in.
Let's
Okay.
go.
King Long rubs his chin, saying ugly. Oh. Do you know any ugly men with masks, Raquel?
I do not know ugly men with masks. It is only I, Raquel, and the other stage actors that are here.
Who are the other stage actors?
Ah, yes, the other stage actors are such fine specimens coming from far off lands, such as.
I'm keeping him here so you can do things, Martin. Wink, wink.
Yes.
At Darian.
Thank you,
I'm
Michael.
disrespecting him.
Yeah. So Martin
Keep it above the
is
table.
going to quote unquote. Well, I'll try to conceal my footsteps at least,
Okay.
but there's not much sneaking to be done there, I guess.
So tell me about these other actors. As you were saying.
Give me a performance check.
Give a me.
Give me a performance to check, you know.
The accents are coming and going. I'm a little rusty.
21.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Acting is his passion, and he's happy to go on a tirade about it. But you get the sense that if Longpeen pushes further into the backstage, he's gonna react unfavorably. Right now, Longpeen is past Rakim in the connecting hallway from the side entrance to the green room and stage rooms. Martin, you're walking into the lobby. There's a lot of faded velvet carpetry, long windows that have, for the moment, have been covered with long drapes. The front box office is closed at the moment, and the two entrance / ticket booths to either side are closed. There is on your far right an entranceway to the seating area, and directly ahead of you is a counter that splits the. Basically, think of walking into your local AMC theater. I don't know why I chose AMC. But you get the general layout. There's restrooms on the far left. There's the concession on the far right. There's that part where you put in your own butter for your popcorn, so on and so forth.
Martin is going to stroll straight on to the back of the theater.
Okay.
Like,
Long penis, like almost in the doorway, right?
No, Longpeen is Longpeen is past him, and Rakeen has his kind of back against the wall, so he can keep one eye on the party that's still outside and one eye on Longpeen.
I've heard tales about your acting skills. Would you maybe give a demonstration to a loyal fan?
Why did your accent change?
This is my. This is
why
my
did yours,
normal
bitch?
accent. This is my normal accent. That's just my business accent.
I am an actor. I can change my voice in any way I want. See, this is for my one character in the Meet the Goodberries, but my normal accent is very, very refined.
Would it be possible for me to cast invisibility on Long Peen without this guy noticing?
No.
No.
What are
switching
the
right at me.
what are the components for invisibility?
Uh,
I'm gonna quiz you on your spells from now on.
it's V, S, and M.
Do you know what those stand for?
Visual, somatic, and then I think material or something.
Wrong.
Verbal,
that.
somatic, material.
Oh,
So
close.
verbal means you give an incantation. You make noise with your mouth. Somatic means you
If
make
I
a.
spend a sorcery point,
It,
I don't need that.
you can try. You still have to make a hand motion.
Would you mind giving me some feedback on my?
Actually,
See,
I
I'm
think
performing in a play later next week.
It does not render invisible.
I think subtle spell you can do it without somatic or verbal.
Yeah, it's without either.
But I mean, when the dude turns around and Long Ping's not there, like
He's gonna know
He's
something.
just gonna assume something.
He just walked away.
You know, that would have been a good idea to do beforehand, but guess what?
He already walked in before I thought of it.
I mean, before just walking
That's
straight
why
open the
I
door.
asked.
Martin, you walk into the main theater portion. There are about 20 feet long seats arranged in rows that face towards the stage.
Big seats.
20 feet long. So like 20 feet long entrances into the rows on each side at a depth of roughly 50 feet. So that's square footage. Right now, you see a couple actors sitting in the very front row, smoking a pipe. It just smells like regular acrid smoke, tobacco, really. And you see two more actors conversing on stage. What is your passive perception is 14, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Looking up to your left and to your right, you see empty balcony seating. Only 4 boxes, 2 to your left, 2 to your right.
Well, everyone knows all the sketchy stuff in theaters goes on either behind the stage or below the stage.
Can I get to the orchestra pit?
Yeah, so we're gonna check out like backstage.
All right, you're gonna amble on past backstage. Make an intelligence check for me, real quick.
Oh,
Straight intelligence.
mind blast. Does he have the big brain? Let's see. Oh my god, he does.
Oh shit. Okay,
Biggest brain.
Brain's throbbing.
come to the dungeon hole with me.
Please.
Okay.
All right. So here's what you pick up. The actors are seemingly human, but for some reason they're speaking undercommon, a la language of the Underdark,
Yes.
and that peculiarity you can keep to yourself until you get to the party.
Can I do an Arcana check on them? See if they're under some sort of disguise magic.
An Arcana check would help you identify the origins.
Or actually, can't you do like an investigation check to look through
You
disguise magic or
actually,
something?
yes. So because of the spell, yeah. So give me an investigation check, and then you should, depending on the severity,
15.
a 15 is enough. All right, you're able to discern that they are under some sort of spell, not minor illusion, disguise self, right?
Yes.
Hidden either on their person or on one of the trinkets they have. They're probably wearing, each of them is probably wearing something that alters their body to look like various humans. You're able to discern the creature beneath, I believe.
Yeah, you get to like see past it.
All right, this room is filled with mostly drow. Only the humans on stage are actual humans. The 5 who are sitting on the front row, smoking a pipe and talking to one another, are drow. The one in the center, who seems to be the leader, has a bald, shaved head, an eye patch, and a markedly mischievous grin.
Hmm.
All right, jump back into tabletop.
Or not anyway.
All right, and you are heading towards the backstage, right?
Yes, I'm going to the backstage.
Okay, the backstage is hidden behind the curtains, but there's an easy part that lets you get in. So the backstage is this long, narrow corridor, 5 feet wide, the width of the theater, so roughly 25,
Defined.
roughly 40 to 50 feet, okay? And on your directly ahead of you would be one of the rooms for the talent. And to your far left, there's a storage closet. To the far right, there is it's a corner, but you see light spilling in from the left, and you notice that that is the double doors for the service entrance. And to further down, you can hear the soft carry of voices. Raquan and Martin, or Michelle in particular.
Martin's gonna check out the storage room.
Okay, so you go down to the far left, and markedly, the storage room is unlocked.
I mean, why would you lock it? All the other doors are locked. Anything else is just silly.
All right, you push into the storage room, and you hear a soft thump. As you muscle your way into the door, you see 5 humans bound, gagged, and seemingly asleep.
Nice. Magically asleep? What would I say?
No.
Just regular sleep.
They got knocked the fuck out.
Knocked out is a more apt term. Magical sleep leaves particulate, little sparkly shit, but right now they just seem knocked out cold. None with visible injuries, all of them breathing.
Okay. Do these guys look like the guys outside? Or at least what their illusions look like?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Okay. So, I'm gonna... Is that the only thing of note in this room?
In the storage room, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna lean down, and I'm going to see if I can shake one of them awake.
All right. You take an action to try to wake one of them.
Yeah.
You are
This also
unable.
breaks your stealth.
You are unable to wake them.
It's only if you do an attack.
Attack or cast a spell.
Oh.
Using an object should be fine unless the object is offensive in nature. You're unable to wake them. Give me a history check or what is the relevant skill? A medicine check. Whichever you prefer.
Let's do histo. 50.
It is not esoteric knowledge, but it is knowledge that only people who have stumbled into the Underdark would know. Drow, the slaver parts of them really, developed a special poison that can knock creatures out without killing them outright or without any magical enhancements. This was done to capture and enslave their own brethren because elves and half-elves of the like cannot be put to sleep by magical means. So it's safe to assume that these humans were put to sleep by drow poison, either at the tips of their blades or dipped into crossbows. It's just a neurotoxin developed by cultivating various spiders in the Underdark. It's not a complex process, but it is lengthy. No amount of shaking, slapping, or hit point giving will awaken these creatures. They have to awake at a preset time.
Well, Martin's going to quietly exit the storage room and close
Okay.
the door. What other rooms were there again? There was the hallway to where the others are.
And there was the
rooms-
various rooms for all the talent, and there was one additional room, one of the prop rooms. So the storage room is a prop room, but the talent rooms
Do
number
any of
many.
the talent rooms seem to be occupied?
Give me an investigation check. Passively, though, you can tell they're all empty. The investigation check is just what you find. Jeez. With
High rollers.
with a 19,
24, thanks.
19 plus 5.
with a 19 plus 5, let's see. You find lockboxes in each of the rooms. In 5 rooms. What you do with them is up to you. There's no significant thrown about. Looks like this was a robbery or a hostile takeover. Each of the rooms is well kept and stylized to each of the talents' personalities, one could say. In the prop room, you do find something interesting. A large black scale, not like that of a dragon, but of some serpent creature. It is black as ebony with, near the flanging, this kind of mauve into maroon into like a deep purple. It shimmers very slightly, and it is nearly ice cold to the touch.
Can I do like a nature or history or something of that?
You can give me an arcana or a nature check.
Works out the same.
All the checks today.
19.
Okay. You just barely missed the DC,
Nice.
but I will grant you that through your study, this is the scale of some mystical creature. Highly dangerous, and something that could fetch a fair price if you talk to the right people. But
So was this thing just sitting on the fucking floor?
Not in particular. It was tucked away near some extra clothes and what looked to be, for the people you saw out in front, this looked to be like their bug out zone, where if something were to happen, they would run over here, grab their stuff, which looks to be no more than a couple knapsacks with extra clothes and a few daggers. This would be where they collect all their belongings and dip. This just happened to be wedged between 2 knapsacks.
Okay. Nothing else
No,
interesting? in there?
nothing stands out in particular. Now, zooming back real quick to everyone else,
Hello.
you've kept him talking for a good 5 to 10 minutes, but he's growing tired of your company, and Raquan says, but I must be going. We have a stage rehearsal soon. If you want to stay for the stage rehearsal, I'm very much fine with that. Our talent is a little indisposed, and I'm sure they'd like some time off to go get on the town for a little bit, as the stage rehearsal will just be myself, Algra, and Westra.
Oh, that'd be great.
But I would
Boys,
ask,
we have a show on our hands.
you don't come through the back entrance. It is
Of course.
just how do you say, an actor's intuition.
Can I roll an insight check to see if this guy's just trying to get rid of us?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mind this.
Oof.
7.
Woo.
Michael was convinced that he wants to rehearse for us.
You're not convinced that he wants to get rid of you, but you do sense some unease with your presence, or rather, a presence.
We'd be delighted to watch.
Ah, excellent. I shall go tell the other talent that we need to keep this stage clear. Yes, I will go out front and unlock the door, and you and your friends can scooch. Yes?
Of course.
Yes.
Alright.
Let's go then, Longpeen.
Let's go wait by the
Exclaims,
front door.
walking in the direction that I was already going in.
No, sir, do not go.
I'm gonna
And
head to the front entrance.
okay, Trevor heads to the front.
I'm heading to the front as well.
Michael heads to the front. Sal, what are you? Please, no, don't. You might bump in and give us all bad luck. We have many shows to perform, and he's talking to Longpeen.
I'll just stay to the right side like any respectable citizen would.
The corridors are narrow, and you might bump into
Quite
something. Please don't. And then you bump into something invisible, Longpeen.
I turn around and swing in its direction.
I just want to let you know I haven't left that room.
Yeah. Longpeen, roll initiative.
Right, by the way, do I notice that the front door is already unlocked? Right?
Yes, you do. Everyone
Yeah.
else.
I let myself in.
Let's fucking go.
I'm going in
Let's
too.
go in.
Let's just go.
Let me pull up the stats.
So Longpeen's dead, right?
You bump into something invisible.
Better make a loud sound.
Again,
Better
Martin
make a
just,
loud sound.
Martin just, haven't left this room.
I thought I was gonna get some shenanigans or what was it? Longpeen was about to hit Martin, and then I heard, I haven't left this room.
Yep.
Well, I think I did a pretty good job keeping that guy there for 5 more minutes.
By the way, Martin totally crams that scale in his backpack.
Okay. Let's see.
Epic. Martin's making bank for the party, dude. We're already rich.
Okay. I will grant you a surprise round, so it will skip its turn. Longpeen, you swing at it. Give me an attack roll at disadvantage.
Whoops. Forgot the 2. Let's roll it again.
Okay.
What's your proficiency bonuses in your deck?
Yeah, did you add your modifiers?
24 and 21.
Okay.
Okay.
You do hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
And you also add your dex here.
Yeah.
So I'm just here. Ah!
8.
Okay. 8.
And my fist landing on something not there invigorates me and makes me mad. Because last I checked, in nature, things aren't invisible. But in Arcana, things are indeed invisible. I want to knock it prone with a key point.
What ability are you using? That was a simple
What's
question.
his name?
I think they roll like a saving throw against his
Yeah,
DC.
I just need to know what the
Oh,
ability
what are
is.
they rolling to save against?
What is the save type, and then what is the DC?
15. Dex save if fall prone if it fails a dex saving throw of 15.
You also have to do that with flurry of blows. You can't just like do that afterwards.
Oh,
You can do stunning strike afterwards.
Okay, so strike with your flurry of blows.
That's. Do I need to roll to hit it?
Yep, at disadvantage.
Okay. Well, it can't get worse than this. It got worse.
Okay,
Can
so
can I use my die?
No, bro, don't use it.
are you sure about that?
Okay. I'll save it.
Okay. So your first attack does hit, and whatever creature you hit seems to be medium humanoid. You will find out on its turn, as attacking from invisibility will break its stealth. As you strike it, and then you try to swing with your flurry of blows, and you miss, it's going to take this time on its turn, and it's going to take a swing at you, and from invisibility comes a drow, a dark elf clad in studded leather armor.
Wait, did you make your second flurry of blows attack?
No, I missed.
Oh, wait, you had disadvantage. You had two. Flurry of blows.
Oh.
Go ahead and take it.
What the fuck?
That's not hit.
Wait, I'll hog it all the fucking rolls.
Okay.
That's a rough one.
3 and 1, bro.
Get shit on,
All right.
honestly.
He's going to make one attack right now. Does a 16 hit your AC?
No, I'm 18.
Okay. And then second attack.
I only have my sash on, so I get +4.
Does a 21 hit your AC? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Take 1d6.
Pogiest amounts of damage.
Pokiest champ.
Pogiest champions.
Oh my god.
Okay. Take
Pokiest champions.
7 points of slashing damage. Take 4 points of poison, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ow.
Constitution save. Come on.
What did you roll?
Wait. Oh
I'm
shit.
That would be a good time for inspiration.
I will take it like a man. I rolled an 8.
Okay. As you do, as you fail the Constitution saving throw, combat ends as you fall unconscious. The poison invigorates your system, and you feel suddenly heavy, languid, and you're slipping. And as you begin to tumble forward, the drow sheathes his swords, and he turns, and you see him walk into the darkness and disappear.
Do we hear this happen, by the way?
You guys hear the thump. You hear a momentary bump, then thwack, thwack, slice, boom.
I run in the direction of the sound.
I'm gonna go check this out too. I wasn't sus until I just.
Oh wait,
Wait, I
no,
thought-
you
I
guys
thought
were in
they
the
were
front.
there.
Yeah,
I was
no,
gonna say, they were at the front door, so
you guys were in the front.
That's
That's
not
a
far.
long distance away. It's Martin who hears it.
Red, use your good hearing.
Martin
I
pokes
have
his head out.
advantage. I have advantage on
room.
perception checks with hearing. That doesn't mean I hear everything in the next 5 miles, dude.
Yeah,
So sorry, I didn't hear that there. Martin, what are you doing?
Martin pokes his head out.
Okay, Martin, you poke your head out, and
Wait,
you,
do I have to open the door to do that?
I just assumed the door was. You were in the hallway when this happened.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
You turn and you see, when you turn the corner back towards the service entrance, you see the tail end of what just happened, what transpired. You see a drow, unmasked by any disguise or invisibility, walk into the darkness and disappear. You can make an Arcana check if you want, but it does sound like someone went down around the corner.
Went down a what?
Went down, fell down around the corner.
Sure. I'll never give up the opportunity to make a fat 9
All right.
on my Arcana check.
You have no idea what happened. It literally looked like he melded into darkness. It could be a number of things. You hear hyperventilating from around the corner. What do you do?
What do you mean by around the corner? Like around the
Towards the side
service
entrance.
corridor?
So it's the service entrance, and then to the right of the service entrance is a blind corridor or blind hallway that leads to the side entrance, if that makes any sense.
Okay. So they were at the service entrance.
Yes.
Okay. I look around to see who's hyperventilating over there.
You're still invisible, yes?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You see Ronghuan hyperventilating, like, oh my god, he is dead. I do not know what to do. So I kept the guard. And you see Raquan go running out the side entrance, and he's probably going to grab the guards. That's a safe assumption.
It's okay. We're basically guards if you think about it.
Okay. And on the floor, you see Longpeen's prone body.
Is he breathing?
He's breathing.
We're good then.
They're unconscious, breathing, and you see a cut mark on his arm.
I'm gonna take a good long look at the place where the guy melded into darkness.
Yes, it is dark. It is a dark corner of the backstage.
Yes, this darkness is very dark.
This darkness is dark.
Do you want to investigate the dark area?
Darkness. Wait, see.
Do you want to?
Hmm.
No one's come to the front
Sure.
door. And
You notice that it is unlocked. As you go in.
The darkness is unlocked?
No, hush.
Front door.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Luck has left us. Luck
All right,
has left the table.
you three, Michael, Red, Trevor, enter through the front door, which was unlocked, and you do not see Ronghuan. You see AMC Theater, velvet carpet beneath you, a little faded with time, drapes hung up on the side windows that could or could not let light in, depending on the time of day. Brass lamps, which I forgot to describe earlier, are neatly arranged but unlit. There's the ticket booths on either side, the partition which splits left side versus right side, so on and so forth.
Is there like a theater entrance visible, like the actual theater itself?
Yes, on the left and right side where it's partitioned, it would get you into the audience zone, audience area.
Red's gonna go walk in.
All right.
To this left side.
I'm not gonna go into the audience thing. I'm gonna look for the stage. the stage entrance.
Were there any rooms that Martin hadn't checked out at this point?
The office and the boots. Those are the only rooms Martin has yet to check. And technically speaking, Martin did not investigate the stage.
Yeah, I'm heading to the stage, not the audience.
There's too many
Everybody else
people
is
there.
going over there,
go in audience.
but I'm poking around for the stage.
Martin will poke around the office when he gets a second.
Okay. The office is towards the front of the theater. The three... Wait. What are you doing with Longpeen?
Leaving him there? What else am I supposed to do with him? he's good.
Fair.
I don't... Okay.
Well, he's unconscious.
He very much is.
I couldn't wake up those other dudes. I'm not gonna carry his ass around.
Okay. As you begin heading towards the stage and heading towards the office, I need you... I'm trying to decide what saving throw this will be.
Good. I like those words.
As you hear rapid footsteps, I need you to make... Yeah, this would be intelligence. Make an intelligence saving throw.
Wait, me or him?
Aw,
Martin.
Martin.
Not me.
Hog.
Okay. All right. Just putting the pieces together. Man backstage, not slain, unconscious. Some freaky fucking drow disappearing into the darkness. An alarm's been tripped. And as you're walking towards the stage, you're about to use the curtain entrance. 5 of the human actors come running past you, and you're smart enough to simply step out of the way. As you see them run past you, they go to the prop room, and you see them grab various bags, and one by one, they start hustling towards the service entrance, and you see them unlock it with a key, discard the key on the ground, and begin trekking out into the back alley.
Martin is gonna follow their asses and also
Oh.
snatch up that key on the way.
Did I
Do we-
see any of
do we
this
see that?
happen?
Do we see or hear that?
Like, did I see any of this? Because I was at least heading towards the stage.
No, this is parallel with you guys entering.
Oh, okay.
An alarm was tripped.
Do I hear this alarm?
No, it's a metaphorical alarm.
Got it.
Metal alarm.
Like the spell alarm. Anyway,
Oh.
Got it.
anyways. It is at that point you 3, Michael, Red, and Trevor, come in, and you see the audience zone. You see the pit. You see the stage, and as you look up to the left, you see one of the boxes. There's movement, rapid movement, scuffling, and then you see a rope thrown over the side, and scaling down the rope are the 3 kids. Nat, Squidly, and Jinx.
I asked them what the hell they're doing here.
Nat's pointing at you 3, and Jinx is translating. You idiots. Why did you walk up to the front? There's an entrance up top. We came in through the office.
Have you tried? Perhaps you could have told us that. Would have been nice to know.
She's going to point. You, wait, you, no, you. One of you, all of you, walk to the front door. And then she's going to bad thieves. You are all bad thieves.
We're not thieves, but moving on.
She's going to shrug.
So what else is happening in the theater?
The 2 actors who are on stage previously are now, you see 2 actors running towards the back of the stage.
I'm gonna give chase.
Same here.
Okay, you start chasing, and the thud of your footsteps kind of sends them into alarm, and you hear, what?
I'm gonna say, hey, wait.
Go get the guards. I'll go wake them up. No, I won't leave you. Just get the guards. Go. And they split. One goes left, one goes right, from the backstage. What are you gonna yell?
I'm gonna say, hey, wait. And then I'm gonna chase after the one that went left.
Okay. The one that goes right. Martin would hear them. Martin's giving chase. They're going down the service entrance, and they're running towards a guard station. It'd be like a 5-minute walk, maybe a 2-minute run.
Well, Martin was following the drow.
Yes. So I'll cut to you in a second. Red, give me a perception check, smell based. Michael, you run to the left, and you see the man pulling at a door, and as he throws it open, you see him pulling an unconscious person under their arms. He's like, "No, let us go, please."
Got a 21.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it seems like you could use a hand.
Who are you people? Red, you smell blood.
Can I follow the scent?
Yep. As you follow the scent towards the backstage, you kind of slink past Michael and the man who are in the middle of a standoff, and you see Longpeen's unconscious body. He is breathing. Give me a medicine check. Michael, what are you doing? Trevor, what are you doing?
Medicine is
you
not
say
my
Michael's
expertise, but let's hope for the
I'm gonna
best.
ask him what the hell's going on here.
I'm gonna
15.
Okay. Um, weird question. Do you have any alcohol on you?
Red does not have alcohol, no.
Whatever poison in Longpeen's body can be counteracted with a fair dosage of alcohol. He seems to
I'm
be
gonna ask
unconscious by
Trevor
poison
if
means.
He has alcohol.
All right, you walk back to Trevor. Trevor, Michael, and the man are in a standoff of
I'm gonna look
sorts.
at I'm gonna look at the guy inside. Are there any more?
No. Who are you people?
Inside check to see if that's bullshit.
Can I roll a persuasion check and say we're here to help?
Trevor, give an insight check. Michael, give a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Insight, right?
Yes.
15.
Okay. Roll. You have to put roll. Michael, you don't look like one of them. If you want to help, go get the guards or a healer or someone. They've been like this for hours.
So first we gotta get him out of here.
Alcohol.
All right.
Does Trevor have alcohol?
I don't have alcohol.
Trevor does not. Wow. Really?
Does Michael have alcohol?
Really? Trevor does not have alcohol.
I'll go fill the water skin after this, okay?
I have rations.
Rations. I'm gonna ask the like.
Trevor, he's too scared to think straight. You just see he's in fight or flight mode. He's saying anything he can to distract you guys.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
Do I know which room he came out of?
Yeah, you guys see him pulling the unconscious body out of the storage room.
I
Are there
walk
any
into
more?
the storage room.
Are there any more in there?
Are there any more? What do you mean?
Like bodies besides Long P.
No, this guy's not dragging long paint. He's dragging another random guy.
I know.
We haven't seen that.
Actually,
I've seen Long Peen. That's why I'm asking if you have alcohol.
Wait a
I
minute.
do not.
Red, give me an investigation check. Trevor, there's more unconscious people inside the storage closet. Michael, he's doing everything he can to keep you in place. He doesn't think you're enemies, but he doesn't distrust you. Red, it'll take you 20 minutes to look through each of the rooms, and you will find in one room, there is, 10 minutes. In one room, there is a bottle of wine. If you can administer that to Longpeen over an action, he will wake up.
I'm gonna look at the guy and see.
I
get
will
the guy somewhere safe.
do this. Yes, I will do the administering.
Maybe you should go and get the guards.
Before that happens, I'm gonna go and grab the guy who's dragging him out. Who's dragging the body out. And he's like, "What the hell's with all of this?" Gesturing to all of the people who are unconscious in the room.
And you see him lower the body slowly, and he's going to back up, back up, back up.
I grapple him.
Alright, you grapple him. He's kind of weak.
Answered the question.
He's gonna start shouting, "Guards! Guards!" At some point, someone will hear something. Red.
Trying to knock him out or no?
Give me an athletics check. You administer. Longpeen, you are awake.
I'm making athletics check.
Yeah, Trevor, make an athletics check.
Long Peen's back.
Longpeen, you are awake.
Welcome back.
I do a Bruce Lee stand up and I pat Red on the head. I'm like, "Good job, Red. A black man attacked me."
Black man.
11.
Yes.
Red's confused.
A tall, dark-skinned man attacked me. He went in that direction. And I start walking there before getting Red's response. Or I walk in the direction of the Tao.
Red's gonna follow.
Or Drow.
Long Peen, I guess.
Trevor. You knock him in the head pretty hard.
Just destroy his brain.
He falls limp like a sack of potatoes.
Yum, potatoes.
Alright. Everyone in the room is tied up, right?
He is breathing. They are tied, bound, and gagged.
Alright, I'm untying all of them.
Take them to the. Start dragging them to the lobby.
As you're dragging them towards the lobby, no one has checked the office. No one has checked the office. As you do, Squidly comes running around the corner. He's gonna look at you, look at the unconscious body, shake his head, and just say, "Watch is on its way." And you see him run over to where they climbed in from the roof, and he's gonna clamber up the rope really, really quickly, and the rope is gonna get pulled up. There is no sign of Squidly, or no sign of Jinx, nor Nat. You can presume they have made it to the roof to escape the watch. You have one body in the office and 5 more unconscious bodies in the back.
I'm gonna start taking them to the lobby area and just putting them down so they're just there.
All right.
Have I untied the people in the storage room?
Yes, you have. Longpeen and
Exit off.
Red, what are you doing?
I'm gonna exit out the.
Red's Longpeen said that there was some dude that attacked him, and he's going in the direction he went. Red's
So-
just gonna follow.
Okay. That would put you about 10 minutes behind Martin. Trevor and Michael are dealing with the bodies. Yes. And at that point, Martin, let's cut to you.
We have royally split the party.
Yeah, we have 3 groups instead of 2 now. Martin, you're tracking these men through the crowds in the back alley as they snake around, very, very rogue-like. At one point, it's hard to discern faces in the crowd, but you can spot them due to their knapsacks. They're heading towards the docks.
Of course.
They're not making any ostentatious show of their hurry. They just look like men who have business to attend. However, you getting a good visual on them, and at least their alibis, you see them on one of the smaller docks as they push into a rowboat. They're heading for one of 3 ships docked in the Waterdeep Harbor, more towards the sandbar. Some tall masted ships affixed with beautiful figureheads, one of a mermaid, one of a dryad, or nereid, and one of a dragon. The dragon one is obviously the lead ship, and they are heading for that one. If you're strictly observing,
Well, I'm not gonna fucking hop in the boat. That's for damn sure.
okay. If you're strictly observing, that's what happens.
Do they just row over to the dragon boat and get in?
Yeah, they roll over to the dragon boat and get in. As they clamber up, they're not disguising it, so you can see very, very hazily an argument break out on the ship, and you see literally one man get picked up and tossed overboard as he meekly swims all the way across some 400 yards to the docks. And as he clambers up on the low pier, he's grumbling. He spits out some water, and he begins to stalk through the crowds. It's there where, unless you pursue him, you will lose him.
Now, when I get a look at this man, can I see whether he's also under disguise self?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Yeah, we'll follow this guy too.
Okay. It is at that point he's snaking through the crowd, doubling back. He seems very experienced in how to shake a tail and how to get to where he needs to. He walks up to a blind alleyway, steps in, and as he's about to reach for a cellar door, you notice out of your periphery Red and Long Peen running in your general direction. Do you signal for them?
I mean,
Invisibility lasts an hour, right? That's what I'm trying
yes.
to... Okay. So they can't see you. You can see them. They have the general direction correct, but unless you correct them, it's just you watching this man under observation, them running towards the docks. That is, unless they can score high enough on their perception check.
Passive.
Unless they what?
Active. Unless they roll high enough on their perception check.
One sec.
So it can go one of three ways.
Hello. Sorry,
Either...
I couldn't hear you.
No, okay. This could go one of three ways. You break your invisibility to signal for them. They roll high enough on their perception check to notice that he backtracked and he's going towards this blind alleyway. Or 3, you do not signal them and they do not roll high enough on their perception, and instead they go towards the dock with a relative
so who
dead
are
end.
they following?
They just ran in
Going in the direction of the drow.
of the dock.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, the reason why it took you longer to track, or they traveled longer towards the dock, was to see if they could pick up a tail and lose it. You being invisible were immune to their findings, but the distance versus the displacement was quite a disparity. Wow, I never thought I'd use that in
how
real life.
close are they?
They're about 100 feet off to your back and to your right.
So the guy's like going into a cellar door, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna give him a second to start getting down into the cellar, and then I'm gonna step to like the mouth of the alley and shout red.
Okay. Even through the din of people running about, even with the whipping wind that would give disadvantage, Red, give me a straight perception roll based on hearing.
Okay.
This would cancel out everything. The disadvantage and the DC is slightly lower.
Do I still add in the perception bonus?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Tight.
Long Peen, make a perception check at disadvantage for hearing.
Red has a
27.
one-track mind.
12.
12.
12 is just barely enough. As you hear Red's voice, you're like, who's calling for the lolly? And you see nothing. Martin has not broken stealth. I don't believe Martin has broken visibility, right?
Nope. Just shouted.
Shouted. And with that, you see the wet trail of someone walking into a nearby cellar.
And then as soon as he sees that they like looked over, Martin's going to also kind of descend into the cellar carefully.
Okay.
I grab Red by the hood and say, "Stay close, child. There are predators around," and then I head towards the trail.
Okay.
Wait, did I see the trail or did he?
You heard the shout and you spotted the trail. Red's so fixated on heading towards the dock that she doesn't necessarily pay attention to it, and as you draw attention to it, she'll notice it. You three, Martin, Red, and Long Peen, are heading towards the cellar, and okay, Martin,
Acting
as you go down,
issues.
your invisibility spell fails. You're in
Nice.
you're in darkness, not magical darkness, regular darkness, of this cellar. Give
So like fails just based on like time or like
Make an Arcana check.
nice.
Nice. Okay. In the midst of this Arcana check, Longpeen and Red, you're gonna walk over to the cellar, and you see a Martin standing near the base.
9.
Okay.
With red getting annoyed at me, grabbing her hood in my right hand, I smack Martin in the back with my left and say, "Martin, it's been a while."
Okay.
Nice one, by the way.
Martin. Wait a minute. Okay. You're not able to discern the exact reason or perhaps spell that has caused your invisibility to fail. You would have to experiment a little bit more with what's happening. As you see in the room, it is an empty cellar, save for a couple dusty cobweb barrels on the left. And on the far right corner, facing towards you, there is a slightly glowing rune, this like seafoam green, almost teal color, into the wall. It glows twice before fading out.
Hmm.
All right, and at that point, I'll let.
Do my other so I also have actually shit. Did
Ooh,
I mention this?
what-
I feel like I mentioned it, but I also feel like you weren't listening at some point.
What spells do you have active?
Martin basically casts mage armor on himself whenever shit like basically every fucking morning.
Okay. As you begin checking yourself, your mage armor has failed as well, or it's been
Oh.
failed or dispelled. I don't know what the correct terminology is. It's inactive right now.
Like
It's inactive and you don't know why.
It's inactive.
if I take a little stroll outside of the cellar, how do I feel?
Okay. I will let you do that, and then I'll let Longpeen do something, and I'll let Red do something, and then I have to cut back to Michael and Trevor. Martin, as you walk back out, you feel no change.
Nice. Good use of that spell slot.
You feel no change at the moment. If you can try to attempt to cast something, but I will come back to you. Longpeen, Red, what are you doing? You guys saw the glowing rune on the far right as well.
Not Fred's area of expertise.
I hate magic. I walk up to the rune and I smack it.
Just thump. Okay. Give me. No, that wouldn't make. Give me an investigation check real quick as you thump smack it.
Is there a?
It's just because you smacked it.
Yeah, no, I'll just wait. I'll show you.
Pog, 12.
Okay. As you smack it, it has a little give and it glows, vroom, and then off. Maybe if you pushed it.
Is there anything written, by the way?
Written? No.
Yeah,
It's,
like anything written. It's just some random symbol. Okay.
it's just a glyph, like a rune.
Yeah. I say, Fred, come look. It glows when you hit it, and I hit it on the other side.
Is gonna peek around and watch this rune.
Do you just thump it or do you push on it? That's the question.
I punch it. I punch it.
All right, you punch it.
Full on punch that thing.
The stone goes in about an inch, and then you hear a pop. And you watch as a black glyph appears from underneath Longpeen. Pop, and he's disappeared. Longpeen, for the moment, you are blinded, restrained, and deafened.
Let me add that.
Oh, I slapped this on.
just temporarily until something else happens. But you get a vague sense you're not in Kansas anymore.
It's
Heck.
you said restrained.
Blinded, restrained, and deafened.
Okay.
Okay, Michael, Trevor, you guys are setting these unconscious bodies, 6 now in total, and
Wait, I wasn't taking them out.
oh, you're just unbounding them.
I just unbound all.
Well, Michael was moving them.
Michael was moving.
Michael, you're moving the bodies.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Michael's doing that. I guess Trevor can run around and investigate the theater.
I'm gonna go check the office.
Okay.
Is there a window at the? Well, I'll let you describe it actually.
As the office is up a set of staircase and it overlooks the box office, or sorry, it overlooks the lobby and it overlooks the theater. So it's both sides. The
Is there a
window
like to the outside on any side of it.
of the office, no. The windows that go towards the outside are in the lobby. There are windows that face. So if you're facing from the lobby and you're facing towards the stage, there is basically where they sell the snacks, the 2 ticket booths, and above is the office with a staircase on the far left leading up and right into the office.
Okay, I'll check the office.
Okay, so you go up the stairs on the left, you turn to the right, and of course, the office door is locked.
Can I break the door?
Absolutely. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics check. Plus, what's my
If only you had a door kicker unrestrained by your side.
19?
19.
Never mind. You don't need him.
19 is enough, and as you boom kick the door, you don't splinter it. It's not a crusty old door, but you do bend the hinges a lot, and there's a grating of metal. You walk into the office, and it's not a lavish office. It's a simple, plain mahogany desk with a small little candlelight, scraps of note paper. The desk is oriented so that someone could shift to either side, looking over the lobby or looking over the theater. Right now, the chair is oriented towards the theater with some stacks of books on the left and a personal safe on the right. What are you looking for anything in particular in this office?
Is there like a desk with stuff in there or shelves?
There is a small shelf on the far end where the safe is. Are you just looking through it?
I'm just gonna look through everything, I guess.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Investigation check. Oof.
Okay,
Yikes.
7. You find nothing of interest and nothing of value. On the desk, though, you find some interesting papers scrawled out from the owner of the Pink Flumph. And basically, the theater has fallen into some financial troubles. People aren't as interested in theater as they used to be. So the clientele that comes in, they pay a lower fee, they're a little lower grade, and recently he's been renting out the space to smaller troops, people who come by who don't even have license, and that's put him in some hot water with the local guilds. Subcontracting is kind of a big no-no.
So these papers, what's recorded here is illegal.
Not illegal, frowned upon and punished by the guild. But there is a weird optimism towards the end of the letter, talking about a nice captain who came by and said he'd like to rent out the entire theater for his 3 crews.
What? You cut out like real bad?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. It is an optimistic turn towards the end, and the owner talks about a captain from a ship which came in not too long ago, that wished to rent out the theater for his crew to be entertained. And he's handsomely paid about 2K gold up front to keep it for most of the festival, barring the days, of course, that the theater has to be open to the public, in which they're subsidized by the Waterdavian government. But
So I'm gonna hold on to these papers. And does it say where the gold is kept?
yeah, in the safe that's by the bookshelf or the
How big is
shelf.
the safe?
The safe in dimensions is a little bit more than 4 feet tall and a little bit slimmer than 2.5 feet wide, and the depth is 2.5 feet. So a rectangular safe. Reasonably speaking, no. You can certainly try.
Okay, well then. I'm assuming you need actual lockpicks to try to lockpick in the safes in D&D.
Or, if someone found the key, but that's besides the point.
Can I search for a key?
As you do, as Michael is pulling in the rest of the bodies, I can't say bodies, they're conscious, they're alive, the unconscious people into the main lobby, the doors are thrown open. Halt! In the name of the City Watch, it's been a massacre. He's pointing at Michael. Hands up, right now.
I can hear this, right?
Yes, you do.
I'm just gonna look confused and finish putting the body with the other ones.
All right, as you ignore them, 2 guards run out, and they're going to tackle you. Do you resist?
Not really.
All right,
I'm gonna say,
as they tackle you, you feel manacles cinched on the other side, and they're holding you up. What have you done with them, you fiend?
I found him like this. I've been.
A likely story. We're taking you to the courthouse. Bag 'em and tag 'em, boys.
They all high five each other as they drag Michael.
We're the Marine City Watch. We can tag and bag any bad guy who comes through here. What a vile man. I loved this theater as a kid.
I think I've seen you somewhere before. What was your name?
Shut up! And he smacks you with the cuff of his gauntlet.
It's like, oh, you're Haxel.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Who the fuck is Axel?
I'm a City Watch Marine. They train us in bagging terrorists, pirates, and scum like you.
Anyways, all these people are unconscious.
Shut up! Pat!
So if you would
All right, boys. To the courthouse we go. Hup, 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 hup. They didn't even bother to check upstairs.
Did they come back with the...
With the lady? Yes. They came back with the lady who went running. What were you saying?
Can I sneak down the stairs
What kind of armor are you wearing?
in leather?
heavy armor.
Leather. Okay. Right now they're trying to take the bodies out, the unconscious people. Sorry. Sneaking down would be really, really difficult.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. Can I stay upstairs and is there a balcony upstairs I can move around the room in, or
Make a perception check.
perception check? What's my perception?
14. Okay, you cannot for the life of you find any way, and you're hearing footsteps. Someone is a little curious. They're looking at the stairwell, and one of them grunts, "Hey, do you think one of them went to the back, or maybe upstairs? Bro, we should check together." "Yeah, bro. Let's check the backstage first." And they begin spear and sword in hand, shield up. They begin tag team scorpion through the audience section of the theater, and they're heading towards the backstage. As you breathe a sigh of relief, you look. You're like, "Thank God, thank God, thank God." And as you do, you hear, and then you look up, and there is a skylight that's been pried all the way open. And you see the 3 faces of Nat Squidly and Jenks leaning over, looking down at you. And Nat holds a finger up to her lips, quiet, and she lowers down a rope.
Alright, did they already haul off Michael?
Yep.
So Michael's not here anymore.
Nope.
Peace, boys.
You were alone.
You were
Did
alone.
she lower down the rope for me?
The kids lowered down the rope for you.
Okay. I am going to grab the rope.
You grab the rope. They're kids. They can't pull you up. You gotta climb yourself up. Come on.
I'm climbing the rope.
As you climb up, you land on the roof with a huff, and the kids are like, stay quiet, stay quiet. And they're hobbling over to one side, like staying low, and they're gesturing for you to follow. Squidly rolls up the rope, and he like tosses it over his shoulder, kind of like a cape. And you see the kids have set up this little gangplank from the back alleyway rooftop of the theater into another alleyway and another alleyway, and they have an escape route.
From the roof, can I see where Michael is where they're taking Michael?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Perception check.
It's your birthday today.
Michael, it's your trial today.
The one has to be touching the D.
I'm retarded.
About a phoenix, right?
Ha 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 ha.
In this trial.
All right. You see, they're taking Michael first to the City Watch jail, the Marine City Watch jail, which consists of little more than a dingy little building that descends slightly into the surf and wash. They're taking him there, and they keep smacking him a lot. I don't know why.
How many guards are there?
There's 4. So there's 4 escorting him. Sorry, there's 3 escorting him. There's 1 standing guard outside, and there's 2 more that you know of that are investigating the inside of the theater.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
how
feasible at the
awful.
moment.
How awful are these handcuffs they gave me? I gotta know. Looking at this dingy building, if I could just get out of it for free.
They're rusted, but they're made of old iron. I know you don't know anything about metallurgy. Old iron doesn't break; it bends. The kids are gonna motion for you, Trevor, to pay attention, and they're gonna point down, and they're pointing towards rather bemused Martin standing in the middle of a blind alleyway, and they're gonna say, Nat's gonna sign. Are you gonna go with them, or are you going to the prison, or the jail?
Should probably get them before I go to the prison. So just sneaking my way over.
She's gonna nod, and she's gonna hold up her hands like, wait. Do you want us to go free your friend?
Can you do that?
And she's gonna hold up her hand, money. And then Squidly's gonna be like, we freed you, didn't we?
Alright, tell you. How good are you guys at lockpicking?
Squidly's gonna go. Jenks is gonna say, I'm good at breaking locks, and Nat's gonna like make a sign with her hands. It looks like she's doing embroidery. She's good with her hands. She can hold a lockpick.
Alright. Tell you what, I'm not gonna give you any gold right now, but I take out one of the papers that says about the 2,000 gold. I show it to them and I say, in the office down there, there's 2,000 gold, and anyone who's had a claim to it is run off.
And Nat's gonna be like, 2,000 gold for him? And she's gonna raise an eyebrow.
Look, I'm not getting in that safe. I'm just telling you where it is.
She's gonna shrug, and she's gonna give you a salute, and she's going to say, next meal's on us, and she's gonna give you a thumbs up, but she is gonna stop you. She's gonna sign stab, and Jenks is gonna say, do you have a dagger?
You should.
And before Trevor does not have a dagger.
Ba-da-ba-bum, ba-da, ba-da.
Starting gear.
Pretty sure most classes start with the dagger, don't they?
Can.
Not to start with the whip. To start with the whip, so I didn't get the daggers.
She's gonna motion anything sharp.
Those your hands any sharp shit either.
I have a short sword.
She's gonna shrug.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna need this back.
She sighs and she's like, okay. And then she's gonna say, we'll keep him at our fort.
Works for me. I'm gonna hand her the sword.
The sword, I believe, weighs like 5 to 6 pounds. She's not expecting it as she grabs it and nearly drops it. But she's gonna hold it up like, I got this. And you see as the three kids go mosey on over to the safe, and they dip into the theater momentarily as you begin trekking towards Martin. Martin.
Wait.
What's up?
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you said Michael for a second. I was like,
No. Martin, you hear the faint popping sound from underneath you, and you're like, what the hell? And then you hear the sound of someone nearly falling off of a rooftop. What the hell? And, oh look, there's Trevor. The fuck? Trevor traversing down the building through various suicide alleys is pretty easy. As you get to the ground floor, Martin's standing. Red, what are you doing?
I'm gonna look at Martin.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look at the glyph thing. And I'm gonna look at Martin, and I'm gonna be like,
Martin's upstairs.
oh.
Martin's pissed off.
Wait, isn't he within eye shot?
All right, Martin's gonna stomp down the fucking stairs and cast a angry eye over this fucking rune.
My
I
favorite.
thought he was like casting an actual spell and it's an angry eye.
You cast an angry eye over the rune.
I want to see if I can discern its purpose.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check. That's a good roll. You know how Minecraft Redstone works? You press a button and it runs around, and then you might trigger like a command block or something. Yeah, kind of the same principle. When the rune is pushed, it provides it converts kinetic energy into potential energy, into kinetic energy, into magical energy, and it activates a spell. The spell is not known to you, but for some reason it works. So, fuck around and find out, unless you want to cast Identify, if you can.
Martin turns to Red and says, well, it does a thing.
I'm gonna follow Martin.
Wow.
Pink Long's
Okay.
probably dead.
Dead.
Push the damn button.
Red's gonna press the button. Fuck it.
All right, Red, you push the button, and everyone hears a faint pop as a black sigil appears underneath you, or black glyph, and then you disappear into smoke. Red, you are blinded, restrained, and deafened.
Hog.
It turned by itself into a pickle.
And deafened.
This is the funniest shit.
I swear.
I wish I thought of that.
Bro,
Oh, sorry. There's two of you now. Sorry. There's two of you.
Damn, I'm actually funny today.
There's two of you now. So both of you are no longer restrained, but you are blinded and deafened. Both of you make perception checks at disadvantage. Long Peen and Red.
Can I
Does it
smell
have
anything?
advantage on hearing ones, though?
I'm deaf.
Oh,
That's
you're-
just because I have advantage on hearing doesn't
Oh,
make
you're
me
right,
immune
never
to
mind.
being deaf.
Oh,
I
he
forgot
could
about
hear
the
through the
deaf part.
deafness,
I forgot
bro.
about the deaf part.
Can I smell anything?
Give me that perception roll.
Do you even want me to roll a second one?
No, you're fine.
Can I, since it's smell, I don't have to do it at disadvantage, right?
I suppose.
Hog. Type. Perception. That is a 16.
Okay. You smell the sharp sting of alcohol.
I'm not there.
Do you reach for it? Oh. Trevor.
Do I reach for it?
Do you try to
Is
reach?
it within arm's reach?
Yeah.
Sure.
Long Peen, you feel some small hands grabbing towards your waist.
That name and the rest of the words in that sentence did not go together.
Yeah.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Oh no, I think they went together pretty well.
You can talk. You can definitely talk. Nobody can hear you, and you can't hear yourself. Martin, give me an Arcana check again because you saw what the spell did. Longpeen, what do you say?
Vsauce here.
I say these are a child's hands, and I smack them away.
Red, you feel a sharp sting on your hands as something hits you.
I got
You know, pull her hand back, I guess.
Okay. You got a 21. Okay, with a 21, that activated a teleportation spell. Something akin to Dimension Door. Slightly modified, programmed. The range on that spell could be anywhere from 10 feet to 500. There's no perceptible way I can think that you can track it. But as far as you can tell, no one's dead.
So did the sigil pop up in the same place as it was before? Or is it just like in front of where?
It's just wherever the person's standing that pushes the button.
Is there anything else in this room?
Some dusty cobwebbed barrels on your far left.
Can I check
Nice.
the barrels?
Yeah, totally. As you crack them open, a swarm of rats
Wait.
comes running out,
He's not here.
and they scatter.
Where else went, bro?
No, Trevor came down with you.
I came down with.
What the fuck? Since when? I thought you were talking to children.
No,
Yeah.
when you came back down the stairs, I had already caught up to you.
Yeah, good job. The swarm of rats skitters past you, and they run into the cracks of the cellar.
Nice.
That's the first one. You want to open the second one?
I open number 2.
All right. As you open number 2, you're hit with a putrid smell, and you see the. First, the putrid smell is mixed with this kind of acid smell, and the barrel itself seems, though well made, to be dissolving slowly from the inside. And as they keep, like, what the hell is that floating? A skull pops up, faces you, laughs, and then sinks back into the barrel.
Bro,
Hey,
you
what-
laughed at your ass.
I say, hey, what the fuck are you laughing at?
I guess he got the
Do you
last
say that to the
laugh.
skull?
I say that to the skull.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Is there any other barrels?
Nothing you notice. Those are the only 2 barrels.
Martin would like to tip over the barrel full of acid.
All right. As
I
you
get out of the way.
as you tip
I
over
get out
the,
of the way.
Like away from us, obviously.
as you tip over the barrel of the acid away from you, it's hissing as it hits the stones, and you see the bones of at least some sort of humanoid, greatly decayed and greatly dissolved, but recognizable, clatter onto the ground. And
Nice.
strangely enough, you do find a small, unblemished golden amulet with a spider pendant. Sorry, it's an amulet shaped like a spider. Pendant is a misnomer. Whatever.
Are these human bones?
They're humanoid. I need you to make a medicine check.
That wasn't what I asked, motherfucker.
I need you to make a medicine check to differentiate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up the amulet.
What? No, that shit's already in my fingers, bro. Get out of here.
What? Are you really picking it up?
No,
What,
I'm
me?
thinking that I had an
I'm
epiphany.
gonna clean it
I'm
off
gonna
with
pick up the
I'm gonna clean it off with prestidigitation and shove it in my fucking pocket.
So you touch it. Give me a wisdom saving throw. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You put it in your pocket with pride.
21.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
21.
Oh god.
Get me
Do I
over
notice?
safe,
Do I
bro.
notice that
Come
it's magical
Um.
or some shit?
You succeeded so well that that you think it's just a regular ass fucking.
You think it's a regular ass pendant, but you have a feeling it might have some religious significance of some sort.
Nice. I can hawk this shit easy. Melt it down.
Okay.
Wait, hold up, Martin. can I see
I'm
that?
also going to clean off the bones and then cram them in my backpack.
What the heck?
Okay. As
Oh, he's a necromancer.
you're cleaning off the bones, right? And as you reach for the skull, it's
Oh, I forgot to roll for it. The other part.
it sprouts spider legs and it begins to skitter away.
Monster, and I attack it with my magic whip.
Yeah, smash that shit.
Just give me an attack roll.
Attack roll.
Did
To,
before.
it's roll to hit, or is it roll just damage?
To hit and damage if you hit. It's relatively low AC.
To
Relatively
hit is
low.
Before.
proficiency and your modifier.
Yes.
Roll to
Yes.
hit.
Oh yeah, these are totally human bones. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, you fucking hit it. Roll damage. It is Fey. Take a little extra damage. That radiant damage.
Oh, the radiant. Oh, so it'll be +4.
Yeah, and you roll a d20 plus 7 to hit again? Question mark.
Wait, why'd you roll a d20, fam?
Oh, I'm dumb. My bad.
Oh, I could have told you that.
1d4 plus 7 and then +4 because it's Faith Keener and Dead. Plus 11. The d4 is weak, but a plus 11 is strong. And thank God it is. Christ.
It's adorable.
Okay, 12 points of damage. As you do, instantly the skull shatters, and the goo of like a spider just begins seeping out of the skull. Cracked open, you see that a spider had grown out of the skull, and its abdomen had grown into the cranial space of the skull. If that makes any
Not a
sense.
spider.
Yeah.
So it was
Kind of
just
spider.
killing the ass. Cool spider. Wait,
Po-
so it wasn't
poison.
The skull it wasn't the skull that was crawling around, right?
No, it was the spider inside the skull. Gross.
Nice. Cramming that shit in my backpack then.
It's broken, but yeah, go ahead. It has
Uh,
spider juice. So, do you want to press the digitation that off
Oh,
first?
yeah.
Alright.
We're making that shit pristine.
All right. So this one has
In fact, enemy dead does not specify the condition of the body that you require.
okay. All right. Red and Long Peen. After about 5 more minutes, both of you are no longer deafened. What are you doing?
What can I hear?
You hear the heavy breathing of Long Peen. And the
Nothing out of the ordinary. Anything else?
give me no. You just searching around. You find yourself in a tight 10 by 10 room, almost featureless, save for a slight relief on one of the sides. It has a little bit of give, but you need more force to open it. Sorry,
Does
you
it
need.
sound?
Wait,
Does
we
it
can see
feel like
it.
a stone room? No, you can only. Does it feel like a stone room?
Yes.
This is kind of a stretch, but could I like try to listen for like the air kind of moving down like it's a cave type deal? You know what I mean?
As you press your ear
Listen
against
for
the stone relief, you don't hear air. You hear shifting stones. Crunch.
What?
And at that point, both of you are unblinded. You regain sight. This is a dark, featureless room. As you both regain sight, the stone door you were pushing on retracts, and you see a hallway ahead of you. A hallway that goes first into a crossroad intersection, and then about 20 feet beyond that, it goes into a T intersection. You are standing in a 10 by 10 featureless stone room with a ceiling about 13 feet high.
Okay,
Wait,
so
so
just hallway.
At your
is red visible?
red is visible through the darkness. Yes. The only
Okay.
light is coming from the hallways outside of this room.
Does Long Peen not have dark vision?
Additionally,
No.
uh,
Not Pog.
additionally, you see a teleportation circle in chalk underneath you.
Cool.
put
Does
my
the
hand
hallway
on-
like? Oh, sorry. You can go.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Does the hallway like come straight? Like, are we at the end of the hallway in the room, or does the room like kind of go the exit like into the middle of the hallway?
It comes straight into the room, so it's a
Okay,
square
so
room.
we're like at the very end of the hallway.
Yeah, one end of a hallway.
Okay.
Martin
I
and
put my
Trev.
hand on Red's
oh.
shoulder and I say, "Good job. Whatever it was, you've cured us." What next?
Okay. Martin and Trevor, what are you two doing?
Well, if there's nothing else in the room, I'm gonna ask Martin if he's up to push the button. 'Cause I kind of want to push the button now.
I mean, how do you know that didn't just teleport them into a wall somewhere?
Well, I mean, the other guy came down here, right?
Fair. Slap that shit.
And he's not here.
You don't know about that?
You first, bro.
This was your idea. What are you talking about? No, slap that shit. Get
It's
in
my
there.
idea. It's your action.
Nah.
Just they say no, not as I do.
Do as I say, as I do.
If you're only being
sure, and I
nice
press the
because
button.
you want to lay the pipe, you're a simp. You're a simp, you're a simp,
press the button.
you're a simp. Alright,
He pressed the button.
Trevor pushes the button. And then he disappears in black smoke as a black sigil appears underneath him. And Red and Long Peen, you're both startled by the sound of the pop as Trevor appears behind you, but his eyes are clouded over by something. Trevor, you are blind, restrained, and deafened. You have no idea what's going on.
Hello? Is anybody here?
I whip around. I
Yeah.
say,
Am I all alone?
Trevor, it's you.
Red's gonna just walk up and poke him.
Trevor, something small poked you in your love handles. I don't know. Do you have love handles? Whatever. Towards your abdomen.
Love handles.
What do you do?
I can't do anything, can I?
Not really.
You only... Oh yeah, he's restrained actually.
He's restrained, deafened, and blinded. And he's like,
All right, if someone's there, I'm gonna ask you to, help me get this off of me. Whatever the
Long Peen and Red would know
Night.
that it only comes with time that this stuff
It's just
fades
time.
away. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't have to roll investigation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like take my finger and like write out the letters to spell wait on his like chest, I guess.
Is there some kind of check I need to understand that?
Yeah, that's a little difficult. Give me an intelligence roll. Martin,
Inside,
Why not
your
just
big
Helen
brain.
Keller this shit?
insider perception?
give me an intelligence roll.
Just a straight
Is your
intelligence
brain
roll?
big enough?
Is your brain big enough? Martin, what are you doing?
Oh,
Martin,
big brain.
slaps that button.
All right, Martin slaps that button, and
It's kind of the size.
Trevor, as you're like, okay, I just gotta wait. I gotta wait. You're unrestrained, and you can feel your limbs being freed magically. And as you take a step forward, luckily for you, Martin appears in the exact same spot, kind of rooted down. Martin, you're blinded, restrained, and deafened.
Wait, what would have happened if you didn't?
Deafened.
I don't know.
It didn't happen, and that's what's important.
I mean, both Long Ping and Red teleported down at the same time. They were fine, so it's
You
okay.
teleport at the same time.
Yeah, but you didn't move between
Actually-
when you teleported, right?
Yeah.
Martin's gonna start swinging.
All of you, hopefully, are dexterous enough to avoid the swings of a mad wizard.
Black flip away.
My dex is 20, so I hope so.
Bro,
Wait,
I
but
got
you can't
12
see your
strength, bro.
heal. You wouldn't be able to react.
Oh,
I need Long Peen and Red to make dexterity saving throws, and Trevor to make a dexterity saving throw. The DCs are a little bit different for Trevor versus you two. All right,
straight dexterity.
saving throw. You're good.
Dexterity plus
And-
proficiency.
Red. You're barely good. As Martin stops swinging, you're all like, hey, calm down. And after a minute, Martin becomes unrestrained. Trevor becomes undeafened.
Oh wait, if I was restrained, how was I swinging? That's the real question.
You were
grapple.
swinging at a disadvantage.
Grappled, restrained. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're swinging. So anyways, I started blasting.
Wriggling.
It's funny, I was sitting there.
A couple more minutes later, the rest of the effects wear off on Martin and Trevor.
I can hear.
As you
can see.
guys begin to collect your bearings, we're gonna hard cut over to Michael, who's been tossed into a harbor dungeon. Now,
Rest in peace, Michael.
Michael, you've been in a dungeon once or twice. They're dank, they're smelly, whatever. You've never been in a harbor dungeon before. A harbor dungeon is a half-submerged cage, kind of put against the surf. What's more for that, the tide is getting a little higher.
This is ruining my beach buzz, bro.
You've been manacled by your legs and by your ankles, and your quote-unquote cell is 5 feet 5 feet wide, 10 feet long, and barely more than 8 feet tall. It's one of many that are connected to the harbor dungeon proper and abutted against the shoreline.
It's like part of the cell is literally underwater.
Yep. Think of it as like an underground cave that or cave
Okay.
that has direct access to the salt water.
Yeah, I think I know it. I have an idea of what it is. I think I saw this in a movie once. But I have a vague
What's a
recollection.
movie?
Go for it.
I don't know what movie, but can I? I'm gonna try and break out of these cuffs, chains.
Give me an athletics check.
I can break these cuffs. You can't break those cuffs. Check it out. Natural 20. Oh, that's close.
19. The cuffs bend and they twist. You're unable to break them.
They bent and they twisted, right? Does that mean that they're a little looser?
You can try again.
I'm trying again.
All right, you try again. As you bend and twist, there's a little bit more give, but you're just not getting it, and the metal digs into your wrist, drawing a little bit of blood.
No biggie.
The tide is rising. Where it once washed over your boots, it's slowly coming up to your knees.
around the room.
The cell is 5 by 10. It
Why
is.
that? I meant like, is there anything else here?
I mean, if you'd let me describe it, sure.
Deadass.
5 by 10, abutted towards the shore. It's at a slight slope. You were forced to stoop to get in here. There are sharp, jagged rocks towards the bottom of your cell facing the sea, and the rock portion of your cell right now, where it's dry, is more smooth. You assume this is where most people kind of sit up or lean against when the high tide does come. Additionally, seaweed every now and then rakes into your cell before pushing against the exit portion that abuts the sea. The-
Is there
the-
like a doorway into the cell? Or like an entranceway?
Yeah, where you came in, where they opened it up, pushed you in, locked it up, and closed it. For a halfling, it'd be an easy way in, easy way out. But for you, even with your size, you had to stoop down to get in here. So imagine that it gets progressively larger going in one direction, but the entrance part you either have to stoop or crawl into. Kind of like, think it like a dog cage size almost.
Are we still talking about this cave?
Yep.
I'm gonna try one more time to break these cups.
Okay, roll again. Okay, let me pull up my DMG real quick. As this time, third failure, you draw a lot more blood, taking 1 point of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, bro, you got tetanus?
Nat
Bro,
20.
you're gonna get tetanus. Ooh.
Nat
Okay.
25, actually.
No, it was.
No, it's a nat 20.
You got
It's
it.
nat
25.
20
Nat-
and added in 5.
Okay.
It's a lot of sides.
All right.
You know what I meant.
You feel no ill effects.
Wait, how the fuck do you have a +5 in con?
Do.
Wait,
It's so.
dude, what's your con?
Wait, it's a
con?
saving throw. It's a saving throw.
If he's proficient, he can add +3.
I'm
So-
a sorcerer. Hello?
Sorcerers are not proficient in con, are they?
Yeah,
I-
it's con and charisma.
Lamau.
You're
right.
I am
I'm
right.
the retard here.
You said my feet are like chained up, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like to the floor.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Not to the floor. They're to each other. You're shackled.
Oh. Can I look outside of the cell and see what I see?
Which way? There's 2 outsides.
Which is the other outside? What?
What do you mean?
Bruh.
I described the cell at least 3 different times.
I'm gonna look out the way I came in then.
Okay, towards the watch house jail proper.
Yeah.
All right, you're one of 10 cells lined along this narrow strip. To the far left is the stairway that leads into the guardhouse proper, or watch house proper.
Okay. What about the other one? What do I see?
The sea.
Is there like bars between me and like then, or is it just
Yeah,
there?
there's bars.
No, you're free to go.
I'm gonna try and open the way I came in. Try and open that door.
You're gonna push on it? It's locked.
This time I'm gonna try and break my feet free.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
What if this guy doesn't have dimension door?
You are unable to break the chains to your feet.
I could break these cuffs.
Wait, sorry, I wasn't here. What, is your magic restricted or something?
Dude, I'm like half submerged underwater. You think I'm gonna use Firebolt right now?
Do you not have Dimension Door?
Level 6.
Dimension Door is a 3rd level spell?
Yeah, a level 2 or 3 or something.
I believe
No,
it's 3.
level 4.
What? No, it ain't. Is it?
Yes. Dimension Door is a 4th level spell.
Huh. Cool. It's another spell you shouldn't cast.
Yeah, another spell you shouldn't have casted last time.
Well, at least he learned his
Did he
lesson.
cast Dimension Door
Wait a
last time?
second.
He
What?
cast the Dimension Door in the first session we had with this character he's playing.
Uh-oh.
He casted it twice, actually.
He did.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's only one solution. The final solution.
I guess I could use Shatter.
Do
Got
it,
a-
bitch.
Got an idea.
What are you gonna
Shadow's
do?
a melee range spell if you're brave enough.
Can I use? Alright, I'm gonna use Firebolt on the
What are the
my feet chains.
What are the components to Firebolt?
You're gonna burn yourself.
I'm a sea
Michael
sorcerer.
decided
Try
he
me.
wanted a warm bath today.
What?
Actually, if
I'm
you're
a sea
restrained,
sorcerer,
can you
try
do
me.
somatic components if you're restrained?
Somatic components if restrained. If you
It
cannot,
doesn't matter. So I didn't use sorcery point to do it.
to do what?
Subtle spell.
He's right, actually.
So it really doesn't apply to me.
Oh, we only have so many potions.
Wow, it's almost like I have a whole bunch of them I can use.
Bro, you have to save them.
Alright, I guess I'm doing that. I'm using sorcery point to do this.
I actually think it's only when you're incapacitated. I think even if you're restrained, as long as your hands aren't like
Yeah.
frozen or some shit.
Like my hands are just stuck together. It's not like I can't move my fingers or my actual hands.
When you cast a spell, you spend a
I'm
sorcery point
using
without somatic.
I'm using it on my feet anyway, so I can just aim down.
Bro, just cast with your feet, bro.
I don't know if I can do that one.
If a spell has 2 components, verbal and somatic, and you take away both of them, the requirements, how do you cast the spell? Okay, you try to
I'm
fire.
assuming you just cast it, man.
You firebolt the manacles,
Do I
right?
need to use the sorcery point for this, by the way?
What?
Or would I need to use the sorcery point? Because I don't want to use it if I don't have to.
No, you're definitely using it.
Alright, I'll mark that down.
I mean, I think technically he can still do it with the chains on,
Yeah, I
as
don't
long as
think
his
I-
hands aren't. As long as he doesn't have like finger cuffs or anything.
Here's my thing: if a cleric or a paladin has to put their shield away to cast a spell that requires somatic, then manacles definitely count.
Whatever.
I can agree with that.
Manacles are
There's a difference between arm motion and finger motion, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
I suppose, but I'm going to stick with the ruling.
Yeah. DM's discretion.
I still marked it down.
All right, roll
That
to
just
hit.
means we can restrain wizards. Ease clap.
Yeah, blind. Roll to hit.
15.
And let me see real quick. It is made of iron or steel. Okay. No effect. I'm looking at my randy dandy chart real quick, and iron and steel object armor class. I mean, it has relatively low hit points, but a firebolt is probably not.
This way you should have been a wild magic sorcerer, bro.
Oh god, fireball on myself.
Oh my god, fireball onto yourself and then shape spell so it doesn't hit you.
I already took half damage from fire, so
Wait, can you do that?
I'm a sea
Wait.
sorcerer.
If you do careful spell.
Wait a second. Wait.
It does say other creatures. So
It just
I
it
don't
says
think
a
you do it
chosen
yourself.
creature though.
When you cast a spell that forces other creatures to make a saving throw, you can protect some of those creatures from the spell's full force.
Even then, I still take half damage, so I'm a sea sorcerer. I passively have resistance to fire.
Just fireball yourself, bro. Easy clap.
Why do you keep saying sea sorcerer? Don't you mean storm sorcerer?
No, I'm a sea sorcerer.
Where is sea sorcerer?
I think he said it was UA.
No,
Yeah.
what the hell are you doing?
He said you were cool with it.
Yeah, we literally went over this day one.
Yeah, because I'm like 80. Because you play stupid shit.
Damn.
I just assume you misspoke and you meant storm sorcerer. Because if you
Pat- Patrick's literally playing a homebrew class, and Logan's playing stupid shit.
Actually, wait, isn't Bloodhunter's official content?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Bloodhunter's official content,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
published in that Critical Role bullshit.
Wild
book
Mount,
over there.
which
Well,
is
it's
considered.
official.
Yeah.
Okay, link me the UA, but you miss because
Oh yeah, I know. Here.
if I don't
You
have
gotta scroll down.
I just found the first link I could find.
all right,
Too lazy to look at my Discord thing for it.
all right, got it.
Yo, what the fuck? At 18th level, you gain the following benefits. You no longer need to eat, drink, or sleep. Critical hits become normal hits against you. You have resistance to piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing.
Listen, the game falls apart past level 13. I don't play past level 13.
Yeah, it's a fool's game.
Anyway,
Bro, we should just play Dark Heresy, bro.
listen, I will play Dark Heresy. Are you gonna DM it or am I gonna DM it? If you say I DM, I will learn the damn system.
Alright. This time,
Deadass, though?
I will, but you need to convince everyone else to join because if I'm trying to learn the rules, then I
Alright,
can't
like
be
this.
helping everyone else make characters.
How would you like to be Inquisitors rooting out heresy?
Wait, let's finish this session.
Yeah.
Let's not get ahead of
Oh, yeah.
ourselves.
I know.
alright, this time
We're
I'm
recording?
gonna use another sorcery point to cast Ray of Frost this time.
Also, Darian, did you watch Astartes Part 5?
No, I haven't. I'll get back to you.
That was sick.
Is Ray of Frost targeted or is it a save?
It's targeted.
So you have to make an attack roll.
Yeah.
Make another attack roll.
Hold up. The first time he
I'm
missed
gonna say
that,
it's gonna be a 7.
It's not possible.
24.
Plus 8.
Okay, you hit it. Roll damage for me.
I believe it's 2d8. Yeah. And right here.
Damn, boy, you got 20 charisma?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have 20 charisma and 18 intelligence and wisdom.
Okay.
This is why rolling stats are bullshit.
I know.
I looked it up
And yet,
first.
there's still fuck ups. 6 points of damage is enough to make the iron now brittle. And as you kind of kick your legs, it snaps, and your legs are now free. So your movement speed is back to normal.
Honestly, even if the tide came in, I'd be fine because I could literally just breathe underwater.
It's not the tide you have to worry about.
Yeah, I know.
It's the crabs, bro.
It's the sea rats.
How does the since that other entranceway is connected to the sea, how do those bars look? Are they looking in good condition, or are they looking like it's been by the sea for how many years?
Oh yeah, they're deeply eroded, but they get replaced pretty often.
Are these ones in particular looking shabby?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna, in that case, I'm gonna try and bash them first with my feet.
You're going to kick them.
Yeah.
Roll against their AC. This is an attack roll on an
What do I
object.
add? What
Your
do I add?
your strength.
Okay.
This is an improvised attack. 11. No go. Make a perception check.
There's gonna be a guard watching him this whole time.
David's not gonna like this part.
Oh,
21. You hear splash, splash. Oh boy, splash, and coming up towards your cell, you see the 3 kids, right? And as they pop their heads up, Nat holds up a short sword you didn't know she had, but it's a little weird.
She stabs you with it.
It's serrated, but
Oh
Pardon?
not in a good way. Like someone took a rock and chipped into it so that it's kind of a saw now.
Awesome.
That's why the kids grab the sword. Anyway, Nat, Jenks, and Squidly are going to begin sawing. It's going to take them a little bit. And as they get tired, they kind of hand the saw off to you. They're halfway done. Michael?
It's your birthday.
So,
The, Nat's going to use her hand sign. Good luck. And Squidly is going to look at you and say, yeah, they went over by that alleyway. Like, we left a trail. Just follow it because it looks dangerous. So we've done our due diligence. We're going to get the heck out of here. If we get arrested again, they're going to kick us out. Bye! And the kids swim off, and the bars are less reinforced, and one good kick could probably break them in half. Also, you do have a serrated short sword. That is a -1 short sword for those at home keeping track.
well, I guess I'll hold on to it.
But it gets a +1 against bread.
I miss.
Is that a 1?
Michael, your foot, as you're like, yes, I can do this. And your foot goes through the grate, like through the slat in between, like between the bars, and you have to pull it back. Make a strength saving throw.
Oh, I swear to God.
3.
What's it gonna be?
Okay, nat 20. As you do, you pull your foot back, and the bars, they groan and they break inward, leaving you a slim but usable escape path. Your hands are still bound, and you still have, you're still holding on to the serrated short sword.
Is it possible for me to use the short sword with my feet to get rid of these handcuffs?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
What's my thing? Oh. Ooh, I'm good at this. 23.
That is a very, 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 very bad idea. Do you want to lose your character? That's how you lose your character.
Do it.
Maybe you should go find your companions and ask them to help you out.
Fine, maybe I will. Alright, I'm gonna exit through this hole then.
Okay.
I have to swim, right?
Yep.
Fortunately, I breathe underwater, so let's go.
All right. I will say.
I swim equal to my walking speed, by the way.
I will say, after 20 long minutes, you're able to clamber out of the ocean, sneak around, not that well, by the way, and find the cellar or the alleyway and cellar. The kids left behind like little scrawlings. You can't read Thieves' Cant, but from the directions Squidly gave you, it's noticeable. And you see the cellar. There is no one in here. There is the smell of putrefaction and acid, and you see a small glowing rune in the corner of the room.
I'm gonna poke the rune.
All right, hey guys, behind you as you're all chit chatting, Michael shows up, soaking wet, with Trevor's now serrated short sword and manacles around his wrists.
Hey, Trevor.
You're
I grab my
blind.
sword.
You can't
grab
see
my-
shit, bitch.
You're restrained, deafened, and
Oh
blinded.
yeah.
I
Oh,
grab
yeah.
my sword. I look at my sword with
Right.
great disappointment.
Right.
I will be holding a grudge for this, and I'm going to attempt to cut the manacles that Thokusa has on.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
If you roll an at one, I'm gonna have to take damage.
If he rolls less than a 10, you're gonna take damage. What do you
Oh,
mean?
boy.
What do you-
Awesome.
what do you
Eight.
Oof.
Trevor, roll me a d6 plus your strength modifier.
Nice.
-1.
-1, yeah. Strength plus your -1.
You know, is this me making an attack roll with the sword?
Pretty much, yeah.
So can I use my dex instead of my proficiency?
Use strength?
Can I use short sword as a dex weapon or no?
Yeah, it's a finesse.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my dex instead.
Is your
Lower
dex?
damage?
His dex is higher.
His dex
My
is
dex
high.
is higher.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have dueling. It's +7. That's funny that.
Wait,
-1, that's 6.
Toxic.
Unironically toxic, but I'll permit it.
All right,
Roll d20.
take 11. Oh wait, yeah. Why'd you roll a d20?
I
Yeah,
can't fucking 20s.
doofus, dunce, Dumkoff.
He was hoping to high roll.
No.
Dingus.
D short sword's D6 +6.
All right, again 11. All right, Michael. He's able to cut the manacles away, but he accidentally runs one of the serrated edges along your wrist.
it's a lot of damage for an accident.
And as you do, you kind of seize up and try to move away, but that panicking movement causes Trevor to pull away as well, and he pushes the tip, just the tip, into your chest, just a little, and you take 11 points of piercing damage.
Yikes.
It's okay. He's bound, blind, and deaf.
Yeah.
Wasn't our fault.
After about 5 minutes, all 3 conditions wear off, and you guys are still standing in the.
It's a shitty teleport
Hey,
spell.
so as far as I can tell, these two manacles were cut, right?
Yeah.
And then something scraped across my arm and then poked me, right?
Yeah, totes.
I'm gonna run over and punch Trevor in the face because he's the only one. Because I know about this serrated thing.
Roll the hit.
You miss your punch and your fist swings back around.
I won't do that. You miss your punch. Trevor just sidesteps you.
You almost get me killed. I save your life, and then you throw a punch at me. I'm punching at him.
No, you're not.
Stop!
No, you're not. All right. You guys are in a new place.
Fireball-
What are you
fireball's
doing?
Coming out, TPK's
I
coming out.
laugh at the theatrics and say, finally, the Tiger Strikers are one once again. Let's move down this mysterious hallway.
David, all I'm saying is if you're in a line
Who's
with
David?
Who's David?
Who's David?
Who's David?
No, I'm not talking in character. All I'm
Yeah.
Oh, I
He's
can.
talking
bro, you-
character.
Oh,
He's talking his character voice.
You're not talking in character.
Yeah, no.
All right.
If you're in a line with the other creature and I happen to have Thunderbolt ready,
What'd you learn? What'd you learn?
Toxic. Toxic. Toxic.
All right. So ahead of you is a crossroad intersection. A path to your left, a path to your right, and a path ahead. The path ahead diverges into a T intersection. Path to the left, path to the right. They're all
Gotta
almost.
wait for the light to turn green.
Yeah. Funny. We have enough time to get through maybe 2 branches at the moment. So that is the idea we are going with.
Well, let's see where that wet motherfucker went.
Okay. I need you to roll an investigation check because it's been a hot minute since you followed the wet motherfucker, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Fuck.
It looks like he went to the right, maybe.
To the right.
Okay.
Maybe.
We're off to the right.
All right.
Sure,
To the
why
right.
not?
You go to the right, and it
Seems
is
like a smart man.
it is a long hallway that makes a gradual left turn into a descending staircase. Do you go down the staircase? And what is your marching order? It is a spiraling descending staircase, by the way.
I'm still at full health. Very well.
Trevor in front. Who's next?
Me. Long bean.
Simp.
Red will be in the middle.
I'll go after Red.
And then Red, and then Michael,
In the back.
and then Lay Wizard.
Sure.
It's his birthday today.
Okay, as you're descending down the staircase, it's a lot of stairs. You're going pretty deep.
Boy, it sure is boring around here.
A minute passes.
Man, these are some long stairs, guys.
5 minutes pass.
And then I said to him, "That's not your lettuce. That's mine."
Literally just progressing through his story.
Where's the next time interval?
10 minutes pass.
And that's how I saved the entire kingdom.
Wait a second.
How we got
Arcana check?
I'll allow it. Something's up. Trevor, make an Arcana check.
I have to use my knowledge from an ancient ancestor.
You want?
Use my knowledge from
Simple
Super Mario
flips.
64.
With a 21, this is an illusory staircase. It's a perpetual staircase, an infinity
For those of you
staircase.
that have-
Can we BLJ?
Stop.
What do you do? You've been traveling for 10 minutes in one direction.
Fellas, we've been had. This is an illusion.
BLJ.
Go back up.
BLJ.
Alright.
As
I
you
push past them and I start going up.
As you go up, it takes you no more than 20 seconds before you find yourself in the same hallway.
Is that right? To the left.
Tyrion, I hate you.
Okay. Okay, calm down.
I hope the next meal you reheat a saga.
Can't believe that worked. Okay, so you're gonna go back towards the crossroads, and you're going down the left path, right? There are
Yes.
2 doors to your right in this hallway, and down the hallway on the far left there is a blind corner.
That's my favorite kind. Don't want those corners watching you. Skeevy motherfuckers.
Okay. 2 doors to your right and a blind corner on your left. What are you doing? What do you do?
I checked the first door.
It is locked.
I checked.
What is this? What is this door?
It is a reinforced wooden door.
Reinforced
What?
wooden door. What was the door I broke previously?
Reinforced wooden door.
Kick it open. Use your
Alright, who's
muscles.
our resident? Who's our resident door kicker in here?
Isn't that you?
I believe it's Long Peen.
Oh yeah.
Simp.
Long Peen. Long
I
Peen.
stand
Simp.
and
The door is
stand
trapped.
and watch. Door's trapped.
Door's trapped.
Door's trapped.
I walk up to the door and I try to open it using the handle.
It's locked.
I rub my
See?
chin.
See, it's trapped. That's why I won't
Does
open it.
anyone here have a key?
Yeah, dude. Point to its foot.
Door's stuck.
Would anyone here happen to have a key?
Red does. Red has a key.
I rub my 12 o'clock shave and I ask, does anyone here happen to have a key on them?
He says for the 4th time.
Nope.
Martin has a key on him.
Sam, break the door.
No key.
does indeed have a key on him.
Y'all don't know this shit.
Oh wait.
God damn it!
Yes.
Actually?
He,
That up.
this is a thing that happened.
Wait, no, but we saw him unlock the side entrance with that key. That's the key to the fucking playhouse, bro.
This is a different
We
key.
saw the same person. We saw the same person who unlocked that door.
There is another door.
Okay, you know what? I kicked the door open.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Okay, you know what? You're just asking for it.
It's about time.
Oh my god.
Give me an athletics check before I fucking kick you in the dick.
If only one of the people who escaped from us dropped one of their keys.
If only we.
Okay.
Unlucky. I hurt my ankle kicking the door.
The door does not open.
Wait.
Alright,
What?
my turn. I kick the door.
Okay.
We move-
It's athletics, right?
Yes.
Martin shoves him out of the way and kicks the door first, bitch.
What?
Yes. 20.
That's how you kick a fucking door in.
Ugh. Okay.
Alright, so we both have kicked the door.
Alright.
Trevor kicks Martin through the door.
Doom. You guys should be called the fucking door kickers. God damn. You kick the door open, and the drow, Martin, that you saw, lays in a crumpled heap, bleeding and dead for some time. Above him
Nice.
stands still a statue of an angel reaching forward.
Nice.
Written on the pedestal of the statue says, "A single gaze can see what many cannot." Or, may see what many cannot.
Can I imitate the statue's pose?
Sure.
Alright. Cool. Thanks.
Hey guys, look at Mako, he's an idiot.
What's mean?
But I'm your idiot.
Okay.
That's-
You're my attempted murderer is what you are.
What? Alright. One reason. You better watch yourself, Trevor.
What do you guys do?
What else is
There's
in
a
the room?
crumpled drow body, friggin'.
I loot the corpse.
Can I poke it?
Saw that one coming.
All right.
Easy clap.
On the corpse is a rapier.
Oh hey, I need that now.
About
Oh yeah.
10 gold.
I'll hold on to that.
And there is a sopping wet missive. Or parchment.
Nice.
Parchment.
That's how I like my misses.
I'm gonna hold it up. It's like, well, this looks useless. And I'm gonna toss it aside. Parchment.
Okay. And that is all you find. His clothes were sailor's
Am I looking
clothes.
up the rapier?
The rapier is nice. It's
I'm taking the rapier.
Yeah, it's just a regular rapier.
Better than my sword.
Make an investigation check.
Oh lord. Investigation. Investigations.
Holy shit. Okay. When they don't matter, you okay. All right. You notice that the handle is lighter than a normal rapier. There should be more weight for the thrust. As you start fiddling with the pommel, you find that it unscrews. As you unscrew the pommel, a small file slips out. It's empty. It is long and cylindrical, almost crystalline in nature. Relatively worthless. Almost any craftsman can make something like this for a gold
Make it
piece.
Look it up.
Okay. What part did I cut out at?
You cut out when you were describing
Worthless.
the thing within.
Where you said the thing he found was worthless.
The file inside is relatively worthless, but it looks like it held at some point a potion or poison. As
Lick the
you
inside, see what it tastes like.
as you fiddle with the rapier just a little bit more, you find a hidden trigger near the thumb part of the guard, and
Anime.
depressing down on it, you hear a soft tss as pressure releases, and towards the fuller of the rapier, you see a dark, not necessarily red, but maroon substance kind of bubble up before hissing and dissipating.
Oh. I have no idea how I'm gonna write this one down on my own. But I'm gonna. Can I search the bio see if this guy has any more of those poison things?
He does not.
The bios on him? He does not.
He does not.
What else is in the room?
Just the statue.
It's a statue.
Yeah.
Aaron is
And
going
is the
to-
vial like openable? Like the empty vial I have?
If you're asking if it's reusable, yes, there is the brass fitting which abuts to the interior of the handle is removable, but you would need tinker's tools in order to refit and remove it. Doing it in the field could possibly break it.
Okay.
It's not fragile, but it's not super duper resilient. Special tools are needed.
Okay, I'm gonna slot the file back into the rapier, and I'm gonna keep it on me.
Gotcha.
What the hell
Warren's
am I
gonna
writing
pick
down
up
for
the
this thing?
soggy missive
All right.
and examine it.
It says, "You fool! Come back with a new scale, or do not come back at all."
Oh,
Nice.
that sounds like a challenge.
Good thing that he had to write that down for him.
Flip it over.
Crinkle, crinkle, flip, flip.
As you crinkle, crinkle, flip, flip, it says,
Oh,
"The
and
creature."
flip it. That's
Oh.
2 flips, actually.
Yeah,
That'd be
flip,
odd.
flip, flip. The creature will not bargain with us otherwise.
Flip, flip, crinkle.
Make yourself useful, or just die.
Oh, he's good at following instructions, I guess.
He did just die. Yeah. Because it's a
Alright,
revenge party.
All right, Darian.
Someone perform an autopsy.
Who's Darian?
This is Kevin asking.
Okay, what's up, Kevin?
Say someone cast animate dead on a body.
Oh,
right?
it would work on this.
So no. But what if someone didn't want all those just nasty fleshy bits on the outside? Could one conceivably cast it on just the nice bony bits on them in the middle?
Wait, if you animate just the bones, though, he'll just have skin armor.
For flavor, can we just say you press the skin off?
Can I press this to take people's skin off?
No, but
It's an inanimate object.
I'm more disturbed with the fact that I don't want you to physically scrape off like the skin and bones, okay? Like
I mean, I'll do it. That's what I got the dagger for, man, and the shovels.
do you want to take the time to scrape off the skin and bones? Could be a long rest.
I mean, not right now. I was just wondering if I could just kind of have the skeleton burst out of his chest. Essentially.
Fuck it, sure.
Fucking sure.
Do you cast Raise Dead?
No, not right now.
You don't want to take the body with you just yet?
Nah, he'll be fine there. He's not going anywhere.
This will be a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Okay. Alright. Do you guys exit I will call it the angel room?
Man, I need a bag of holding.
Can I investigate the statue?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me an investigation roll.
Can I assist him in investigating? I want to look at it too.
If you are you assisting him, or are you investigating on your own?
Put it on my own.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Jesus Christ, my rolls now.
Okay.
I'm assisting him.
The angel statue is indistinguishable from a regular statue.
Can I roll an Arcana
Is
check?
that
on
for
I
me
think it
or
was
for
from a
Michael?
regular angel. I was like, whoa. Kruger statue.
Is that for me or for Michael?
The angel statue is indistinguishable from any other statue.
What if I rolled an Arcana check on it? Is it magical at all?
Roll an arcana check, but I will tell you once more. The angel statue is indistinguishable from a statue.
Feel good at nat 20.
That is
not my
fog.
Pog.
See, it's basically a nat 20.
You've heard of creatures with stone-like skin, genus Loki, golems. But this statue is just a statue.
Nice.
Real talk. Is this statue just sitting in the middle of the room?
Yep.
All right, this shit's sus as fuck.
Yeah.
What's its dimensions?
Break it.
Humanoid, medium humanoid.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like our size.
Martin's gonna motion to Trevor and be like, "All right, bust that shit."
I push it over.
Wait.
It's heavy. What's your strength score?
Strength score is 12.
Not high enough.
I have more strength than you do.
Yo, what
So
the
do
fuck?
I.
You weak bitch.
I have 13 strength. I'm a sorcerer.
Can I roll
Holy
an
stats is
acrobatics
bullshit.
check? Can I roll an
true.
acrobatics check to use leverage?
Oh, wow. Using your skills and thinking outside the box. Go ahead.
I whip out my crowbar and fucking throw that bitch over.
Oh yeah. You do have that.
25?
25. You use leverage intelligently, and you throw it like a judo flip, and it smashes against the ground, and you see a small ring pop out of a hollow chest cavity.
Nice.
I pick up the ring and I stare at it.
Do you pick up the ring?
Whoa! Don't touch shit. Not jewelry. Everyone knows jewelry's the curse. This curses
You're right.
shit.
I take out my wet piece of parchment and I pick up the ring.
No. This is how we do this
I'm intent.
in the service. And then I pull out a little bag, and we're gonna mage hand that bitch into the bag.
Very good. You mage hand the, let's just call it mysterious ring, into the bag. And what do you do with it? Please tell
I
me.
give it to Long Ping and say, "Don't look at that. We'll save that for later. Don't touch it though."
I take the bag and a tear flows down my cheek.
This shit's
Thank you,
probably
Martin.
magic. I know you don't fuck with magic.
Thank you, Martin. I'll
next
hold
room,
on
boys.
to this. For you.
Okay. Do you guys finally leave the angel room?
Wait, so this is a bare ass room with
Yeah,
a
we-
dead guy and a statue?
Yeah, pretty much.
Angel rooms.
Damn, I wish we had Speak with Dead.
Damn, if only someone could prepare that.
If only someone had chosen to be a cleric.
Damn, that's crazy. Anyway, you guys are back in the hallway. There's still one more door and a blind corner.
Alright, next room. I
Okay.
try to open the door.
Okay. It's not budging. The handle is
Lock,
free.
it not budge?
It's just not budging.
Is it a pull or push door?
It is a pull.
And it's not budging.
It is not budging.
It's a wooden door, right?
Yep, reinforced
Can
wood.
I use my saw short sword to
Saw through the fucking door.
awesome.
Okay, it's reinforced.
Using your
As you
tools.
shove it in, and you begin to like scrush down. The moment the metal touches the reinforced metal part, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Sim. 1924. Okay.
Oh,
An electrical spark runs across the length of the sword and is strong enough to create a visible current. But you leap away in time, avoiding all of its ill effects. And as you do, the door swings open with a as air is quickly released. Inside is a pristine marble room. A
Marble what?
marble room. The door
Marble room.
marble room, marble. You know, marble. The door, behind the door, was a marble slab with rubber and tar sealing it. You hear the whir and click of some sort of fan shut off. Inside the room is a velvet rope with brass standers, and behind it is a painting of a woman looking at you, her hands kind of crossed in front of her, and you can't tell if she's smiling or frowning.
All right. Question number 1: are the painting's eyes looking at us?
Do you mean magically or prospectively?
Both. Either.
Prospectively, it's kind of like she's looking a bit past you, a bit through you. Magically, they're not moving.
Is it Mona Lisa?
Good.
Is that what this is?
What the fuck is Mona Lisa?
You did.
So,
So it's just wait, it's just one painting, or is there?
it's just one painting.
It's just one. Okay.
Do I have any idea who
Weird.
it's a painting of?
No.
It's a marble room with a single painting. Pog.
Yeah.
This person in the painting doesn't look familiar at all.
No.
I throw the bag Martin gave me at the painting.
Okay. It hits against the canvas and bounces off slightly and clatters ching, ching, onto the ground. Muffled, of course, by the plastic bag. Plastic? Paper? Whatever, the bag.
No, it's a little cloth. Martin
It's a
picks
little
up the
cloth bag.
fucking bag with Mage Hand again and says, "Looks like you dropped that. Maybe don't drop it again."
Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. And I take the bag from him.
I'm gonna go up to the painting. And
All right.
is it?
As you walk within 10 feet of the painting, a disembodied voice says to you,
If this motherfucker starts giving us a tour, I'm pissed.
The right path will lead you to safety. The wrong path will surely lead you into destruction.
Wait, the first,
was
the
that-
right
what was
path will
that
lead
first
you
one?
into what?
Yeah, you cut out.
The right path will lead you to safety. The wrong path will lead you surely into destruction.
You know, it's pretty fucking safe not being in that room.
Those goes.
Okay, so the right path is good. The wrong path is bad.
Everyone
Good
knows
destruction.
he's being
Go to the
literal. That
right.
means the path on the right is
Go to
good,
the
the
right.
path on the left is bad.
Yeah, what else can I say? I start
Alright.
walking to the right.
Sound logic, everybody, that's good.
So-
Red, give me a quick investigation check.
Sure. That is a thing I can do. Not very well. Actually, I lied. I do do this very well. Not well, or not super well.
You can give a good appraisal, but that painting's probably worth a little bit of money. It's just sitting there, asking for it, looking like a snack.
Red doesn't need painting.
Red kill.
Do you leave the painting?
Well, if
I go
Red's
over and
gonna leave it-
pull it off the wall.
And as you do, nothing happens.
Oh, never mind. No, thank you.
You pull off the painting. It's a little smaller than you thought. A little bit more than 3 feet tall. Sorry, 2.5 feet tall. About maybe 16 inches long.
Is there anything behind the painting?
No,
No, just painting.
nothing.
Is there anything on the back of the painting?
Nope, no signature, no nothing. It's just a nice painting.
Cool. Red has acquired a painting.
Wait, how big is this painting?
2.5 feet
my height.
tall and about 16 inches long, like a portrait size, like a.
Good luck carrying that shit around.
It's definitely obnoxious to carry around. It's not as big as I was thinking.
All right, here's what we do. Martin motions to bring the painting over,
Okay.
Okay.
and we're gonna cut it out of the frame.
Why?
Ooh, were you gonna carry that shit around in the fucking frame?
Does the frame
I mean,
does it
can you just take it out of the frame?
Yeah.
You know,
If you have a dagger of some sort, you
that,
could.
that
I have a dagger.
that's what I'm saying. We cut it out of the frame.
You could unbrace the frame. So the canvas is stretched over the frame. So if you just cut it,
Oh,
yeah. It's
Maybe not
interior.
that.
You can undo the the binding which pulls it across the frame. Quite simple. I mean, it's how they do restorations. But takes
I want to undo the binding.
okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Lucky for me, I am good at that. 16.
Okay. You are able to undo the bindings, and the once taut canvas loosens just a little bit, and you're able to unslip it and roll it up, if you please.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Moving along.
There's the blind corner, and there is the straight path.
The blind corner and what was the path?
The straight path, like the path directly ahead of you from when you exited the room.
Wait.
Oh.
It's like blind corner. Can I like peek around the corner?
As you peek around the corner, real quick, there is a lone chest at the end of a 10-foot hall, and hanging over the chest are 5 swords.
5 what?
You cut out there.
At the end of the hall is a chest, a lone chest, and hanging over it are 5 swords held up by a string attached to the back of the chest. Huh. Huh. Huh.
Who's gonna greed?
How far away is
I
the?
walk forward saying, Trevor, we have a new sword for you.
10 feet.
Wait, how far away is the chest? From
10
the
feet.
Corner.
10 feet. Within
Oh,
mage
we're
hand.
gonna yank on some swords with mage hand.
Alright. Mage hand pulls the swords. They clatter to the ground. 1, 2, 3. Do you pull them towards you, or just did they hit the ground?
Straight down.
Okay. 4, 5. They're all on the ground.
Nice.
I
We're gonna
pull
yank
out
on
my-
the string for good measure.
Alright. You pull on the string, and the string whips into the chest,
Whoa.
and you hear a ticking noise. Tick, tick.
Tick
Tick.
coming from where?
The box, the chest, the
Mysterious ticking
Tick.
noise.
tick,
Trevor
Can I
leaves
smell-
the room.
tick,
Can I try to sniff gunpowder
tick.
or
Tick.
sulfur?
You can give me a perception check.
See, boys, this is why
Tick.
we use
Yeah.
fucking
Tick,
mage hand.
tick,
I
tick,
leave the room.
tick. That's 10 ticks.
That's 20. I'm not gonna bother rolling the other one.
No gunpowder.
Pog.
Tick.
Sulfur?
Tick,
All right, we're done here, boys.
Oh, I guess I wouldn't know what sulfur
Job's
is.
tick,
done.
Pack it up.
tick,
Pack it up. Let's
Tick.
roll.
Let's roll.
Just move
Tick.
on. Move down the path.
tick,
I pull out my kua and I
Tick.
smash the chest with it.
tick.
I'm definitely not standing.
As you do, you hear and the shattering of glass. You hear hiss as you pull your hoe. Is it a hoe or a rake?
Yeah, it's a hoe.
It's a hoe.
Hoe.
As you pull your hoe away, you see acid spilling from the chest onto some parchment, vellum, and the vellum is slowly being eaten away by this acid. And the best way to describe magical particles is sparkly shit. Sparkly shit begins to emanate from these vellum scrolls. Whatever contents were in the chest were immediately destroyed, or were destroyed after 20 ticks.
Spell scrolls are for losers anyway. Let's get out of here, boys.
Magic.
You got real magic. None of that bitch stuff.
Yeah. Good thing the magic was destroyed. Otherwise, I would have had to do it myself.
Okay.
I turn
Exactly.
around and I walk with the gang.
All right.
Okay, gang. Let's
Well, that's one path left.
All right. Going down the next path, you come to a T intersection. On the left, immediately to your left, you see a 5-foot pit with spikes at the bottom, about 20 feet deep. To your right, you see a blind corner.
Hmm.
Darren, I'm gonna need an ASCII drawing of this complex, please.
pit and then a turn.
Let me see what I can.
Hit on the left with spikes or a turn.
Let me see if I can make a.
Precision.
Is there anything
Tough
past the pit?
decision.
There is 5 feet of solid stone, and then another pit 5 feet across, and then there is 10 feet into another hallway that turns to the right.
I say, don't worry, team. I'll investigate. Acrobatics to leap over the pit.
Do
Uh,
you need acrobatics for that?
Before he does that.
okay, so you jump 5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, easily. You jump 5 feet, and as your feet are about to touch the solid stone, they go right through.
Oh no.
And
No.
you're falling into a actual pit or another pit with spikes at the bottom 20 feet deep. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Easy club.
Alright, he's dead, guys.
Nah, I'll be fine. I've seen Long Peen recoil from worse.
Dead ass. Remember the water?
The one
Okay,
day you don't
so-
prepare Featherfall. Oh.
So, here's the thing. Okay, if I fall, Darian, will I take damage from the spikes or the fall damage?
Both.
He's
Both?
dead.
Okay. On my way down, I say if there's any time for the warrior god's intervention, now would be it. I re-roll using my die.
The dex save, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
7. I can smell it.
14
though.
is a save, so the damage is reduced. Let me get the damage total as you fall 20 feet and onto narrowly avoiding some spikes.
Wait, don't monks
I'll,
have something that helps them
yes,
avoid fall damage?
Yeah, that's what I was asked. I can absorb up to 30.
Okay, so the fall damage will be you can calculate out, and then I will get the piercing damage out of the way.
Look at this guy. Doesn't set his DCs to be multiples of 5.
What's that mean?
Why would I?
That's you.
He's more of a multiples of one kind of guy.
There's not multiples of 1. There's only a 1.
Just say integers. Okay, so the fall damage would have been 8. You can reduce that to whatever. The piercing damage is 3.
Hey, not that bad. Easy club.
And you are in a 20-foot deep pit. You guys, everyone else watched as Long Peen confidently hopped over the first pit and onto the stone, only for him to be absorbed by the stone and disappear.
I'm gonna try to touch. I'm gonna kneel down, and try to touch the stones where he fell through.
It's 5 feet.
It's 5 feet across. So there's one pit in front of you, and then
Toss your whip over there. Give it a good whipperino.
Give it a good snap.
I use my whip and I guess launch it towards the area that Sam fell, or what is it? Sam fell through.
okay. So just for clarification, pit in front of you, seemingly no pit, actual pit, and then no pit in front of that. As you hit where the mace head or the whip head goes through, and for the moment, Long Peen can see the whip head kind of smack against the wall of the pit.
I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna be like, Long Peen, are you okay?
I yell back, I'm okay. I'll just need a tetanus shot.
What's a tetanus shot?
Red
Okay.
does not know what tetanus is.
Okay.
Alright, so just to recap, there's an actual pit in front of us.
A
And then
And then the
stone.
fake stone.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Did
apparently
you
you
jump
can go
across or
through.
something?
And then another pit.
Jump.
Yeah, I tried landing on the fake stone.
Alright. I was like, wait, if the stone's fake over there, and I'm gonna kind of like half step forward to see if the pit's actually a pit in front of me.
Okay. Do you test it with your foot?
I test it. I'm not going over.
Yeah, you test it. That's an illusory pit. There's no pit in front of you.
I properly step there.
Okay. As you do, you kind of step over it, and the illusion kind of fades the more weight you put onto the fit pit.
Okay, I'm gonna
Alright, everyone.
I'm gonna slowly walk across. I'm gonna slowly walk across, like testing as I go.
Yeah, as you test, you come to the edge of the fake landing, and you kind of wave your hand through it, and it dissipates.
I could always just use
So the first pit is no longer a pit.
First pit is safe. Second section is a pit.
Second section, that's the one Simp is down, right?
Yes, and then after that, you see another section and another pit. Safe
So
section.
Alright, so there's an illusion floor in front of me, right?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm gonna look down, like through the floor, to look through to see the pit.
Yeah, you see Long Peen.
You see long pain. Alright.
Yo, pull him up with the whip.
Hey, how far can you jump?
10 feet.
10 feet. I need up. Can you go up 10 feet?
Yes.
Strength modifier.
Wait, yeah, you can long jump a number of feet up to your strength score if you like have a running start.
You can high jump up to your strength modifier.
Oh, you know what? I have a good idea. All right, I take my magic whip, which is 10 feet, and then I tie it to my normal whip, which is also 10 feet.
This cannot go wrong.
You know, like we
And
probably
holding-
have like 200 feet of rope between everyone, right?
Yeah, you got rope, don't you?
If you have a burglar's pack,
Let me have this. Let me have this.
an explorer's pack,
Let me have this.
or a dungeoneer's pack,
David's
you have 50 people.
brain is stimulizing.
All right, and I'm gonna hold on to the magic whip one and dangle down the rest of the regular whip.
As Trevor rolls down his whip
Yeah.
at it intently,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm having inner battle with myself,
Uh-huh.
I crouch down and I roll my dice set and ask my dice if I should grab this magic whip.
Oh,
Result is 9. That is high rolling. I sigh as I grab onto the whip and start climbing.
All right, you're pulled up onto the safe landing. Ahead of the real pit is another landing and another pit.
Athletics check or acrobatics check for me jumping over
What are you jumping to?
the fake pit or the pit.
Okay, make it.
Is
Only
it-
this part dissipated, right?
Yes.
the part behind me dissipated. The pit that I took sent out of dissipate or not?
Yes.
Okay. So there's actual floor behind us, a pit in front of us, and then another pit in front of that.
Another landing and another pit.
What could go wrong? That could go wrong.
That could go very.
So, what are you aiming for?
The supposed pit.
Okay. As you leap into the supposed pit, it's a real pit.
I saw this coming. I knew it was time. I was sitting there. I was like, "Yo, this is where he hits you." With the
You
mix up.
you fucking threw him under the bus, you bitch. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Alright, so there's two pits in front of us, right?
We passed these.
Let me get that right.
We passed these. We
You
passed.
didn't put the one.
I need to.
Sometimes the bot's just a little slow.
Yeah, look right.
Yeah,
at
I'll
me
take the
and
10.
then-
I'll take the 10. Or whatever.
Was there a 10?
Yeah.
It was slow, so it's fine. As you leap into the... You're like, there's no way I can be wrong. You leap, and you're like, all right, my feet are definitely going to hit, and you go straight through into a real pit. You take no damage, but your pride is definitely wounded.
I sighed to myself, longing for some dry bread.
Can't.
All right, so just to recap, there's two areas worth of pit in front of them.
You don't. You only know that there's one area worth of pit in front of you.
Well, because there's the illusion pit that we know is right in front of us, and then the next
Alright,
area
no more
after that
shenanigans.
is the actual pit, right?
I'm gonna meta. Someone just. I've been playing my character, but someone used the spell magic. Like, somebody has to have it. We have
Holy
three
shit.
ways-
I do have it,
Or 3 people who cast spells,
and I can use it.
Yeah.
and you will use it.
Will I use it though?
Bro,
I
it's
will
already
ask
12.
my dice.
Come on. Let's...
Wait, do you have? Wait, pause. I'm gonna meta you. Do you have a dice set? Because my character does.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Alright,
damn.
You
I
don't
can't
have a
get shit
dice
on.
set.
Alright, you have to roll for me.
Nope, I'm not bro. I didn't hear you say shit, bro. You're gonna use the spell magic.
Alright, I'll use it.
Long Peen carries dice because he gets
Alright.
boring on the marching trail.
I'm
That's
using
also why he can juggle.
Dispel magic.
On.
The illusion things.
The area.
Okay.
Can't you just do it in front of you?
You roll 2d6.
Why did you roll?
It was, I did the thing he did where he asked the die. if they
Oh.
should grab
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing. That's being stupid.
Okay, so you cast Dispel Magic. Nothing fucking happens.
Alright. We keep
I
moving.
gave it my best shot. Time to keep
I-
moving.
I climbed a pit, just regular climbing.
Yeah,
To the other side.
you can
Not
do
towards
that.
our party, but to the other side.
Yep, you can do that easily. And you get to the other side.
Wait, how big is the gap?
5 feet.
The
No, but like the total, because there's 2 pits, right? Like there's 2 pits after where we're at.
okay,
It's
so
pit, walking, pit, and then now I'm on the second walking, and they're 5 feet each.
okay. The first part is landing pit, and you don't know the third one, but you know the fourth one is definitely pit.
So we're on the second one right now.
You're on the second one you're on the first one right now.
On the first one, the
Yeah.
second one is pit. The third one we don't know. Can I shoot an arrow into the third, like the area the third one we're in? Or,
Yeah.
like, crossbow bolt.
Yeah, you shoot a crossbow bolt, and it shatters as it hits solid stone.
I'm just gonna long jump to the third area, or the third section. I guess is that the best way to put it?
Yeah, you take a. What's your strength score? Is it
13.
more than 5? Yeah.
Yes.
You scoot back a bit. You run, and you land on the landing. Yeah, that's real.
I do the same.
Yep, easily done.
Let's see. Now what?
Now there's a blind corner to the right.
Is everybody across?
We're just waiting on Michael and Martin.
Martin.
Ooh.
So fake,
advanced.
real, fake. L for landing, P for pit. L for landing, P for pit.
Oh, I was muted. I forgot. Yeah, I said I went across.
Okay, you get across.
So I've been across.
Martin will get across as well.
And then, can I see Long Peen now? Because
Yeah.
he crawled
Yeah,
to
I
the.
climbed.
Yeah, you guys are all on the other side together. There's about 10 feet of space
okay.
before
we're-
you get to the blind corner.
So there's one more space ahead of us, or no?
No,
It's
it
just all.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I'm
Alright.
just gonna go peek around the corner.
As you peek around the corner, this is a long hallway, about 120 feet long, and at the far end, there is a statue of what looks to be an archer, pointed directly at you.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna.
I turn my
step-
back to it and say red. It looks exactly like you.
Every 40 feet is an alcove on the left, enough to fit one humanoid creature.
Whoa.
As you guys peek around,
Interesting.
you see the eyes of the statue light up, and then You don't have to make the save just yet, but running through you might. You see the hallway fill up with purple arrows made of hard light that come streaming across the 100-foot hallway and embed themselves into the wall on your left.
Oh boy.
Bro, Long Ping, just get in there and catch all those fuckers and throw them down.
That's very true.
All right, so
Did it just
I was
end?
just about to ask.
Yes.
I sprint for the first alcove.
Are you sure?
I no longer. I had an epiphany, and I don't sprint.
No, he said it.
You said it, but I will give you one chance. Do you commit and stay in character and possibly get a bonus later on, or do you backtrack? Because I was going to close the session here.
Wait, no, fuck.
You know, all right. You know,
Close the session.
compromise.
It's
Close the
12.
session here, but next time I'm going to sprint from.
I'm going to teach you a lesson. As you sprint for the alcove, you're gonna dash, right?
Yes.
All right, you dash. As you go into the alcove, you try to push into it. The alcove is illusory.
I sprint back.
Make it.
David, make a dexterity saving throw.
I love how we just yielded 4 illusions. And David's like, this has to be.
Oh!
He just-
Oh!
25. Ooh, 25.
Okay.
David said, let me teach you a lesson.
All right, David, take half this damage. Let me roll it real quick.
The gods have forgiven you, David.
Natural 20.
All right, David, take 11 points of psychic damage. As one of the arrows barely nicks your arm, but your head gets this raging headache.
11 points, you said?
Yep.
Ow.
All right. After you guys see that, you think it's a good idea to contemplate what to do next session. So that's where we're gonna close it. That was eventful.
Now, Red's brain is not that large, but wouldn't it be a real kicker if the illusions and the real ones lined up with the illusions and the real ones that we just? It
All right.
stimulates my brain, dude.
All right. So that will end the session. So far, so good. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope you look forward to our next episode. This is the DM signing off. See ya.